What's happening, world?
Well, there it is.
Happy Friday.
There it is.
Welcome to another episode of Cognac Confessionals. I'm your host, Deshaun, here at Where Media Meets in conjunction with VJ TV Network, Pharaoh Films, History in the Making Entertainment, Keep It Quality Productions. You know, it's, what's today, the 25th? Yeah.
That's what they say.
March 25th, 2022. Another interesting week. I got full house tonight, and got an echo. Yeah, what's happening with it though? Everybody, let everybody introduce themselves this evening. Start from my left.
Only left.
My left.
No left.
All right.
My
Well,
left.
and that's his left. That's
Yeah,
you.
it starts with you. Camo.
I'm thinking you saying
other
far
left.
left. Yo, it's your boy Camouflage, man. Here we live and direct. We about to get this. We about to do some more confessing, man, with this cognac. So y'all peep game. See what we got going.
Do these mics work?
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Pharaoh, aka the Game God, aka the epitome of ism, and I'm just here to do that thing I do, which is in particular, which is annoy Renee.
They call me Chakra Khan. My name is Renee, but aka Chakra Khan, aka Fly, aka Renee Electronica, and I cannot be annoyed. Cat?
Well, there it is. My name is Kat. I am the resident scientist here, I guess you can say.
Yes.
I love to hang out, talk shit, drink good, and educate.
Right. So
Educate.
tonight we got, it's what is it? It's Women's History Month.
It is.
History Month, and as usual, I don't partake in the fluff. Women's history should be celebrated all year. We don't break it down in a month. But as you see, I have some powerful women here tonight, and we have another one coming that'll be on also with us. And tell everybody where they can find y'all at.
In theory, they can find us every Friday on Facebook Live, The Venus Lounge.
Yes.
And it's a podcast here in Oakland at Where Media Meets
Yes.
Productions and Fly Media Studios. And we just like to chop it up. I just like to say we conversate, vibrate, and libate.
Nice.
We like to drink, we like to talk, vibrate, and have a little sip every now and then, and a whoop-de whoop on the wop-de wop.
You got to do it.
You can find me Wednesdays, 6 o'clock live on Facebook with In the Know with Kat Bobino. And there I talk to people in science, technology, engineering, math, just to showcase that they're people just like you and me. And they do all the things we do and hopefully get our next generation interested in STEM.
Okay. So, Renee,
Yes.
how are you?
I'm doing well. It's been a tough week, but I'm happy to be here with y'all.
I'm happy
This
that
place
you're
always makes me happy. I don't know why. When I come here, I feel supported, and I just feel like we're productive. So I'm better now. Thank you.
That's what's up. We on. So, you have the Venus Lounge,
Yes.
which you'll
Finally.
be doing Fridays live at 7. Take us into the concept. Actually, you've been on the show a few times. But actually, we'll start with the Venus Lounge. Take us into the concept of what is the Venus Lounge.
The Venus Lounge. Well, at first it was the Mercury Lounge.
Yeah,
Because I like science, I like metaphysics. I'm a very spiritual person. So, I'm into the stars and the moon and Egyptian
Quasars.
mythology and all that. And then I was like, but the Venus Lounge is the woman planet. So maybe I should change it to the Venus Lounge because we're in the Venus era.
Mm-hmm.
And so I changed it to the Venus Lounge.
Okay, and what can your audience look forward to in terms of content with the Venus
I'm glad
Lounge?
you asked that because I my goal is to fellowship with other powerful women. I feel like for me, as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, when I have strong relationships with other women who are doing things in their community, it makes me a better wife, it makes me a better mother, it makes me a better friend. And I just feel like I want my work to be purposeful. And so the Venus Lounge is just a place I guess you could say we're recruiting or looking at or connecting with other women. And there are things that I plan to do off camera as well in my studio with building and the networking with women. But the show every Friday is just to like have a good time and vibe and see who you connect with and who's about it, and then come back and really do some things, because I feel like our communities are suffering, and we need to really come in and organize on every level, whatever your discipline is, whether you're a scientist or you're into hair and makeup or entertainment or law or medicine, whatever your discipline is or whatever your career or your goal is. I feel like women, especially black women, are ahead of the charge on this. And I take this very seriously because I see the world needs some change. It's like walking into a house that's messed up. When you walk into a house and everything is fucking everywhere, you're just like, okay, we need to get this shit together. You go over here and do this. And that's what I feel like when I look in the world and see everything that's going on. There's so much cleaning up that has to be done. And so I just see it as a metaphor. For us cleaning, I think that's Talia. For us, cleaning up the world, doing something. So I think the Venus Lounge is a great place.
I think you opened it
for us to do that. For us women to do that.
Okay, and that's dope. You know me. I support the women. You already know my mindset. The melanated woman is God. Always has been. Always will be. If you don't understand that, you'll get that at 3 in the morning. We have another guest coming in, and you can walk in. It's
Come
good.
on, Talia. Put your bag down, girl. It's been a long week.
Put your bags down and come in, sis. So it's you and Talia on the Venus Lounge.
It is.
Yeah,
and she's just walking in now. Welcome. This sister here, I'm gonna just, I'm gonna give you some accolades. Renee turned me on to your music. This is, hey, y'all, you know me. I'm just, I'm gonna do some roses, some flowers. Wife, if you watching, don't get jealous or nothing. It's just, just a black man acknowledging and saluting the sister. But Renee turned me on to your music. And when the first time I saw you, I was like, I'm a fan. Her music is dope as fuck, y'all.
Yes.
And I seen the clip. She got bars too. You know me, I'm a bar spitter. I got bars like jail. She got bars. But hey, this sister is dope as fuck.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself to the world.
Well, okay. Hi, my name is Talia Taylor.
You whispering?
Ain't no whispering. Talk. Don't be shy and shit.
We need to hear
She
that.
just got here, so she kind of got to let her.
What do y'all need to know?
Okay.
My zodiac sign.
You
tell
us what you
music.
want us to know.
That's about it. I'm Talia. I'm an artist. I like to create stuff.
You ain't gotta talk so soft. You gotta talk soft.
That's it. That's how I talk.
She does talk.
Have you?
But your voice is
Are you a
powerful.
martial artist?
Am I a martial artist?
Mm-hmm.
Where can they find you on social media?
They call me TT on Instagram. TEETEEE. Just find me in real life, and then we can take it from there. I'm not a martial artist. My grandfather was though, black belt.
Nice.
So that means somebody will come kick your ass if you come at her wrong.
Yeah, maybe. Kind of.
Yeah.
So Renee was just taking us into the concept behind the Venus Lounge.
Yeah.
And, that's you and hers conjunction of pure woman power, epic shit that, I'm just I'm excited about it. And like I said, Renee turned me on to your music, and I was just like, wow, it's some cool, chill vibe ass music. I'm just telling you, and I look in your. I ain't gonna look at y'all. I'm gonna look at you when I tell you this. Your music dope as fuck. It's that chill vibe. Sit back. I could be smoking a cigar because I smoke cigars and I sip heavy. you know, it's one of them just sit back and just, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, like how women say Calgon take me away, but for a dude, I'm a dude. You know, I don't do Calgon take me away, but ain't nothing wrong with a dude soaking in the tub. Y'all niggas better learn some shit. You'll get that at 3 a.m. But your music is a cool ass vibe of just, it's just an enjoyable relaxation, and that's what I got from it. You know, so I just
How
want
do
to
you
let
describe
you know.
describe the
That's
style?
what I was gonna ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the sound is like, I feel like my description might throw it off a bit, but I would say it's like gospel wavy. And the reason why I say gospel is because, you know, I talk about love a lot. And to me, that's, I guess it's not like hip hop. It's not like an R&B love. Like, I'm not talking about, sometimes it's romantic, but it's just like kind of like an ethereal, everlasting, just the love. Like, I think the love that we all want to feel, not necessarily from somebody, but just as a person, just wanting to feel cool, you know, wanting to just feel, like you're saying, relaxed, comfortable. And to me, I feel like gospel music can do that. You know, maybe traditionally it's linked to Jesus and linked to, like, you know, living a certain lifestyle, but the energy behind it typically puts people at ease. You know what I mean? It calms people down, like, okay, this song, it just relaxes you. So I say gospel in that sense of like the calming energy that gospel music can provide. I mean, some of it might, you know, kind of take you, but it kind of taps into like a feeling of gratitude sometimes, almost, you know. So I like for my music to evoke that type of feeling. And wavy, it's a genre that I'm, you know, that's kind of up and coming, where it's wavy, you know, just like you chilling. So gospel wavy is how I would describe it.
And agape love.
I didn't want to get too churchy, you know.
No, y'all could,
I
for
don't
real,
go in
no.
them buildings.
It's
Well,
not
the true
hip
meaning,
hop
well,
to
the true
enter
meaning of
into,
agape
though.
is just a pure love. It doesn't have to necessarily be romantic.
Yep.
But I can tell that you're a great
Totally.
artist without even hearing your music, because literally, I'm a very in tune person. But the vibe and energy that you just brought into the room,
Here you go.
I can feel it.
Right, she does bring
So
a
when she said, I'm an artist, like, there's no need for any extra. I felt that.
Yeah.
She is an artist. She brings.
And now I look
vibes.
forward to hearing the actual artistic product, because I'm
Yes.
feeling the vibe.
She's on SoundCloud, right?
SoundCloud. Bandcamp is
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. Talia Taylor on Bandcamp, and I'm open to feedback. I'm terrible at promoting myself. Obviously, you probably get that vibe. I just suck at it. But if there's some, like, if there's a better way for me to share the music, just let me know and I will.
I want to pull it up on my phone.
The
I was-
age-old
so-
debate between
So, yeah,
pure artists
You
and
just
commerce.
can't-
Where
you
does
gotta-
it
you
meet?
gotta
Right.
hear it.
And so
In the
my
middle.
question to you two, where did y'all connection come from? How did y'all meet and get into this process, this journey that y'all on now?
We met at the Black Women is God through Karen Seneferu.
Who said y'all met at the what?
The Black Woman is God
Y'all heard
digital reception that happened during the pandemic, but it originally happened in the SF MoMA or MOAD, Museum of Modern Art. Was it MOAD? Yeah, but anyways, just the statement alone, this woman, Karen Seneferu, it wasn't just a statement. She had basically historians, scholars, archaeologists, religious and spiritual leaders back up and her, it's not even a claim, it's they backed up her science. And when that opened up, then every woman that was a part of this project, it was just branched off into more and more dopeness. And that's basically how I met her. So I already knew she was cool because she was like, you in this too? Like, what? And we did a music video called God Code. And
Which
it
is
was
dope.
It was I wish we could just show this stuff, and that's one of our goals on the Venus Lounge, to be able to just punch in all of this stuff. Like, the long-term goal is to have this a full-blown production where we will have. I'm looking for reporters, writers. I'm looking to build this into a real production. So all of these things are important to me, but she came and just spit on the track, and I was just like, and then she gave me some other tracks, and I used her track to break down the track that her and 4 other dope rappers from Oakland.
All the women on that track, I watched.
They tore it up.
That was dope.
They lyrically tore it up. They spoke on everything that was happening at that time, and it was still sexy, but wasn't showing everything. Not that there's nothing wrong with that either, but I loved how they just came in with so much sexiness, and they all had their own sexiness. It was, and they did not rely on that. They came in on just pure talent.
Right.
What's the name of the video again?
God Code. You can watch it on YouTube if you just put God Code in. And we shot it in Oakland in 2 days, and that's how I met her. And then I was just like, I loved the music, like she said. It just put a vibe on it. I just felt good when I heard it.
You got a vibe, sis.
But you do need those too, though.
What the ass and titties?
I mean, not to be. And not to be.
You trying to be devil's advocate?
No. I'm not trying to be devil's advocate. I don't want to be hypocritical or pander. We live in a particular.
I'ma just say this:
we live in a
more
society.
women need to be involved on how that's put out there as well, because a lot of times men get to control the imagery, and a lot of us women fall into that too. So I'm all for that, as long as there are also women, because you're going to get a different interpretation with nudity and body parts and with female. With
that's simple.
Women
That's
do it.
that's. And don't get me wrong, I'm a full-blooded heterosexual man. I like tits and ass. I'm not acting like I don't.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay, because
I'm just being honest. I love it. But at the same time, when it comes to music and bars, especially bars, I want to hear your bars. I get the twerking and the booty popping. I get all that. I can separate shit. I love bars and just creative juices. Just like when we talked about last week, my term, which I use from the 90s, flow opticals. You spit and sing or whatever. If I can close my eyes and envision.
But that's from a bygone era where some people
might
have looked at it more of as a pure art form.
That's where I'm
But at the end of the day, I'm the type of person, I look at it as it's
you can put a wig on a pig.
Show business. And the show got to be tight.
I understand that, but I think it can go ahead.
I mean, one of my homegirls and I was talking about this last year. One thing that I feel is a truth is that beauty sells, and no matter how we try to say it's just about the bars or skills and all that, if you don't have a certain look, I feel like it's gonna, like, Rhapsody is an amazing MC.
Dope.
And she's collaborated with some of the best artists of our time, but where's, like, she's not mainstream. I don't know if that's by choice or is it because she's more covered up, you know what I mean? But I feel like, I don't know if it's just human nature. We all want to see a certain something.
I mean, you just gotta be fly.
She's also amazingly dull
you
person.
Gotta be fly, whatever it is. Because Lauren didn't
She's
show
a dull
much.
person.
She was fly. Missy hella fly. She never showed a whole bunch of
I slightly disagree.
Missy.
Yeah, I'm just naming.
No, she was fly. I was saying.
I mean, Missy came from a different era. But L Boogie. Lauren Hill, remember Lauren Hill came as L Boogie, and she literally wiped the floor. So her artistry was on such a level that it couldn't be denied.
Her don't show a lot of stuff, and she won Grammys. And also, these younger girls, they come with baggy pants on and stuff. Even
that's the original TLC.
So what is it then?
Different era.
You gotta have style.
You gotta have
You gotta have style. You gotta have charisma. You gotta have something that they're like, whatever she put together, this shit is fly because she looks amazing. Like, and own it. Like Jill Scott with her big, beautiful body, she's so fine. She is so fine, but
Jill
look,
Scott is bad.
she is bad.
Even
and
Erica Badu, she never really
Bad.
showed nothing.
Till
But
later.
Well, I'm just
She took
saying.
all her clothes off and
Right.
went
She
to
was
see.
dope.
But that goes back
She
to
got
what you
some
were
ass and
saying.
she wanted to show it. I
Right,
think
but that
Jill
goes back to
Scott
what you
and
were
Erica
saying
are
when.
both manufactured artists, though.
Well, that goes back to what you were saying about how the nakedness is shown. You know, that's a different type of nudity.
She directed that video.
Right, that's
Hey,
a
my
different
top
type
five-
of
My
nudity.
top 10 favorite female artists are not sexy. I just say
Who
that.
can you? Who are they? Who?
Man, Patti
for it.
LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, Mariah Carey. She had passed her prime.
All of them
Erykah
was sexy in
Badu,
their time.
But I'm saying, but they wasn't like revealing.
But they wasn't,
though.
yeah.
They wasn't
What's-
like
Okay, is
they wasn't
sexiness
like-
synonymous with revealing?
No.
to me. Like I'm
In
saying,
2022, it is.
Is,
To me, it's
so
not.
is sexiness only way it shows? Because
no.
But Jill
I'm
Scott
saying as
and
a
Erica
so-
are manufactured artists for that particular era. They marketed them into the media decided that neo soul was going to be the wave, and then they made them be neo soul. Erica will tell you they put a head wrap on her and all
Yeah,
that,
she's a rapper.
and they put them out there. So I don't know about their, so I can't praise them too much because I don't know about their artistic integrity. Because if they came along in this era and somebody
You
said
know
you
who
guys
I
put
like
on booty
who's more-
shorts, they'd probably have on booty shorts.
But you know who I like that's more this era? Janelle Monáe.
She's
She don't show. She don't show. She's doing a book tour. She'll be in San Francisco.
she's another
next
fake.
week.
She's another fake artist.
Oh, really?
Well, I like her.
And the
face.
reason why I say she's a fake artist is even though her music is entertaining, when you look at the opportunities that she's had, the Revlon
Yes, her
ads,
music is
movie
okay.
roles, and this and that, and in
her
correlation to
music-
where she's charted, you see that there has to have been a hidden hand guiding her
yeah,
career
she has a
because
great look. That's
she
what I'm
hasn't
saying.
accomplished.
Her
Because
style is amazing.
her first thing is being in music. Her music did not have the
It
impact
didn't.
to justify all the
her
opportunities
visibility.
she's gotten. So it's like, okay, she's been almost like, in my opinion, a chosen one.
That
Yeah,
was
but
it.
that's a
She was
different
she was an
subject, though.
agenda.
It's a different subject because we're still talking about how
Yeah, them chairs.
Well-
how your
Yeah,
body
they're
and your physical
That's what
Nah,
I was
you
saying.
got it.
attributes play a part
agree
into
with
Well,
a
it does
sexy.
play into it, Renee. And
Another
my
woman's
point to
thing.
that is that
I was raised with.
we can't take these exceptions to the rule and say, hey, look at this person. They didn't hold themselves out or whatever. And then you say, but there's an asterisk to that. For the average female artist who doesn't have that hidden hand guiding their career, they're going to have to get it in like Cardi and Nicki to be heard.
Hold you up on that hold yourself out either because that
That might have been a poor choice of
Yeah, it
words,
was.
but
Yeah,
but I
because-
was trying to get a blunt point
yeah,
across.
I get what you're saying. Holding yourself out, that's different. But
So
I don't know.
I mean,
Well, if you don't
like,
normally walk around
like
dressed like
Candace-
Cardi and Nicki in
I
the
do,
video,
though,
and
see.
suddenly
I
you
do,
got
I
to,
do.
and then suddenly you do that, that is
I just
compromising your
wouldn't do it here.
values.
No,
So
not
Candace said,
necessarily.
"What about India Ari, another very talented sister?"
Yeah, she
Hi,
ain't putting it all
Candace.
out there like that.
That's my baby.
India
Yeah,
Ari
I'm
is
still
dope.
mad
Okay,
that
now
she didn't get her
Candace,
Grammy
we
back
always-
in the
Because
day.
we live in a world. Here's the thing, because
Okay,
go ahead.
I was gonna say because is Candace Kugler?
Yeah, that's Candace.
Okay, so this woman has a beautiful body, physique,
Oh,
like,
fam,
but
shit.
men always assume because she loves her body that she's like a stripper or a porn star, and she's not. She's a model. She's probably one of the sweetest girls I know. Like, she is so far
She's
from
the most
that,
talented actress
and
I've
very
worked with.
talented.
Star
And
of Love and Alien.
but she always tells me like men always see. I don't know. It gets
Because we're
confusing.
sightly,
It gets
unless we're
confusing.
raised right.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'll be
We're in
looking at
tune.
artists as like artists like Janae Aiko. Like, if you want to talk about like new school, when I say you were saying like it's sexy revealing, no, it's not necessarily. But in terms of the music business, it is because just like with the movies, the big executives
Yeah.
are gonna want titties and ass.
Right.
Now, if
I
they can't
understand
get
that.
that and they get a better product, that's fine. But you're gonna have to
understand.
earn that as an artist.
They
You're
only do
gonna
that
have-
with black women though.
Yeah, I think you're right. You might be
They
right.
only do
about
that with black women.
Sarah Bartman,
And
the original.
Yeah, they do only do that with black women. I was watching the last award show, and it was Doja Cat, and she gave a great performance. She came out with her art gear, and Chloe, was it Chloe? What's her
Haley?
name? Chloe
Chloe and Haley.
Chloe Bailey. Soon as she came out, she turned around and busted it open. Somebody else came out. Meg had to come out and bust it open right quick. They all had to it was just like, why are all the black women?
Right.
Yeah, why are they doing this? And someone said, then black women need to stop doing that.
Right.
You know.
But I mean,
But in Chloe's defense, she was wholesome for almost a decade and couldn't get over number 50 in the charts.
Yeah.
But I mean, you
So
got
that's
to
on the
put.
consumers.
And those are the sisters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Right.
they came up under
So-
Beyonce.
And they were wholesome. I'm talking about turtlenecks
They were.
on and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And
Girl,
their
she
music
cut loose.
could
I
do
was
nothing.
like, okay, girl.
And then she showed up one day on Instagram pretty much nude, and then she became the topic of conversation.
Wow.
And
I'm not
and
surprised.
that's a double-edged sword because like we were saying, like I can just from rappers, female rappers, that bars. 3D Nati got bars. I know dudes that she will bury. And she ain't out there busting it open doing it. She just bars and going in, and her punchlines is witty. She writes her own shit.
But even with dudes,
Yeah. it's
even
the
if
same
dudes,
thing.
I can go find dudes in Berkeley right now that's spitting. They'll never get the notoriety of, say, a King Von because we expect a male rapper to be this over-the-top killer cartoon.
500 million.
So bars are almost
What do you mean
irrelevant.
kill a
I
cartoon?
don't. Or am I a minority?
Because I'm gonna take it. I understand what you're saying in
Right.
your point, but I'm
Even
gonna
the
take it
dudes
back
got
to
to be some type of wild, shoot up the block
The
character
image-
with some wild dreads and
like you were
shooting.
saying, the imagery, even with
money.
dudes. Because I'm a big dude. I'm fluffy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I keep your bitch warm at night when she fucks with me.
Oh, God.
But excuse me, I keep your woman warm.
Man, scoot over, Suge.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm Suge Knight, little brother, all night. Ask your chick. But to the point of imagery, I can take it to, and I'm gonna go back to the '80s, early '90s with a big dude,
Different
Heavy
era.
D.
Heavy D would not
was
be
fly,
successful in this era.
Okay, can we switch
Really?
it back?
Well,
to
hold on.
Yeah.
Can I just say this?
Yes.
I was on a flight many years ago, and I was on a flight with
Hey,
Fred.
what's up, Mac Green? Thank you for tuning in, bro.
I was on a flight with Fred Hampton Jr.,
Uh-huh.
Fred Hampton's son, and he was just talking about how when it comes to art, you know what I'm saying, you got to realize in the music industry who runs it, right? And it is the white man who still runs it. And so they're the
Jewish-
ones who
Jewish.
decide who is going to go out, who's going to be mainstream, who's going to be top music. And his biggest issue, what he was telling me about, was some rapper from Chicago. He said, this dude is mentally ill. Like, you see him on the street, he's mentally ill. Everybody in Chicago know. But they put him out as a rapper because they knew they can make a lot of money from him.
Yes.
He wasn't going to fight it. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't going to have the representation. He wasn't going to have a lawyer. He wasn't going to have anything like that to get what he truly deserved. And the white man who was in charge knew that, and they was going to make the money off of it. And that is who is making the money off of artists today. Whether they're the man or women, black or Hispanic. The thing is, the only ones that are not going to, quote unquote, look bad, maybe, is white artists. But then how many white artists do you see out there as big as black artists?
In hip-hop.
I mean, maybe
In hip hop and
Oh.
music, I mean, but I'm just saying,
not
like,
many.
maybe in country,
Yeah, country.
you know what I'm saying, or in heavy metal or EDM. But if you're talking about hip hop,
Yeah, but
R&B,
they always
all that stuff,
with black music, they always categorize it, even if it is heavy metal or EDM or rock or country. They always put it in urban and R&B, like even if they're not. So,
and that's the thing, and they decide who they put out. And then you look at who they put
But does
now.
the streaming have an input on, like, now the streamings have any?
It used to, like,
impact
Justin.
on that?
Wasn't Justin
I'm
Bieber
curious.
found because of
On
streaming on YouTube?
or Usher or
So same
something.
with Soldier Boy. I mean, the impact
The
of
Soulja Boy
streaming,
definitely fits into that interesting character
yeah.
mode.
You got
Yeah, but even look at
Well,
Megan
he's
Thee
a
Stallion.
white
Megan
boy
Thee
that-
Stallion's a smart woman.
Yeah.
When the first
She's
time I
very
seen Megan Thee
intelligent.
Stallion, she was in a bikini
Established.
this big, and then
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let me hear her.
Somebody said,
Right.
yeah.
But she
Sex sales,
did
she's an
something.
attractive
But it
sister.
wasn't not only that. It was like
They too masculine.
like
for
I've
me.
heard Rhapsody be mentioned. I've heard 3D
They have
Nate
a
be mentioned.
Not too.
And just to
They
be
have
and just to
masculine
be
energy.
honest, I'm from a particular generation that I almost gotta know that you with the shit or you've been through some things, read some articles about you before I even bother to even listen to your music. And the little interviews that I've seen of those two particular artists, even though they've got bars, they came off as dull and arrogant to me. And
Ooh,
thus,
Megan Thee Stallion.
no, the 3D World Rhapsody and stuff, they came off almost as if
Yeah, let's talk about this.
I'm so pure and I'm so, and that's,
How though?
but that's the
What's wrong
thing.
with that?
But that's the thing.
Elaborate.
If you're from a certain generation or you're a particular hip hop fan,
Yes.
you kind of, like in regards to male artists, you want to know that they with the shit and they really live in what they saying. The female artists got to be, you got to have some interest. And even though those artists have great bars, their personas and stuff like that are dull, and that's part of the reason why they haven't crossed over. And for a person like me,
But-
I want to hear your story. I want to hear your struggle. I want to hear what you've gone through, and then I'm hearing somebody that I would be like, oh, in real life, I wouldn't even kick it with her.
But then you look at.
So I don't even
look
want to
at-
hear her bars.
You look at like Destiny's Child and Beyonce, like their first interviews.
Yeah.
It was like.
But they came off as some young girls from Texas, and they came off as
Remember,
earnest. You see what I'm saying? They came off as earnest, so I wanted to hear that. But if somebody comes and they're basically like, I don't have to even deign to pander to you, the public. My bars are enough. Peace. Peace. I don't even want to hear it. Peace.
If you raw,
No, but that's the thing. You won't spark my interest to even hear you.
Yeah.
And then if I hear you by, like, say somebody like Sean starts playing it, I might be like, oh, man, that's tight.
right,
Who is that? Oh, that's what's going on. I'll be
Yeah,
like,
I play all
that's
type of
whatchamacallit.
right.
So it's like,
So you gotta have an interesting story to tell.
yeah, or some type of persona, because at the end of the day, it's show business. You got to have a show. You got to have people
That's the
interested
sad
in what you're saying. It's like you can't be, like an Andre 3000 wouldn't be successful in this era, because he's too aloof.
No.
Oh, I love him.
He's
But
too
you're
aloof.
right.
But in
You're
this
right.
era,
Yeah.
you're
That's
probably
That's what I'm saying.
right.
If he came
yeah.
around now, it would be a hard time for him to break through.
Yeah, I guess because
Yeah.
there's so much, it's so crowded out
I got a
there
couple
on
of comments.
the internet.
Kenneth, we'll talk
Well,
about
saturated.
we'll talk about your
Saturated.
Supreme Court, sister. That's a double-edged sword. I think I'd say that for another show, but I'll give that. Candace said, I noticed that being in entertainment, from my own experience, when men talk about how sexy other women are in front of other women, some women feel they have to look a certain way, look that way, or feel less than. Kind of off the subject. Hope it makes sense.
No,
It
I
makes
get it.
sense,
It's the
Candace.
man
Well,
putting
there's-
women in competition with each other for the attention of the man. And
that's
and
bullshit.
once they know that that's what you value, or that you get your self-esteem, or you feel like that their compliment validates you, then they're going to use that.
Well, that's
But
the thing
that's
is
a
like,
male.
but if
How can I
you're,
avoid that?
but that's what I'm saying. Like as a man,
It's not.
right?
It's for.
say
I mean, I don't know if you should avoid or not.
But
For
no.
me, if someone gives me a compliment, I appreciate it, but it doesn't validate me. And I think that's just something that comes with age, and as you get older, more mature. It used to mean something, but the attention of men now doesn't really mean much to me, except for my husband, of course. Like that matters to me.
Shout
I
out to
still
her
want
husband.
him to like look at me and pay attention to me and appreciate me. But a lot of times men don't realize women, we kind of dress up for each other. Like
That
we kind of like, when women dress up and look nice, we like, yes, girl. Like when a woman's, I don't know, just for me, when you're in the women's bathroom at a club or somewhere, and we be like, yes, girl, shoes, dress, yes. You just like, okay,
That's
girl.
what it
But
said.
is it-
Y'all
is it-
y'all
is it
catty,
Is it
y'all
really
catty
for
and
each other,
complimentary.
though? Is
I
it
mean,
really-
men are the same, because when I go in some place, somebody say,
trust
oh, I
you.
see you, man. I be
but you
like,
know what,
that's
though?
what I'm killing
But-
it.
But you,
I
but
salute
let's
that.
see. Wait,
I don't have a hating bone in my body.
let's talk about the musical Hamilton, right? Great musical. You got the older sister who, I can't remember her name, that plays the older sister. Her voice is amazing, right? But when it was written, the man in charge of that play, of that musical, said they wanted a Cardi B looking woman who had that type of vocal. She don't look like that. but she blew him away and she got the part. But you see, but when
I've
you
never seen a
ask,
Cardi B looking woman with those
well,
type
no,
of
but I'm
vocals.
just saying, when you ask, like, what can men do? That's the thing. When you're writing the part, when you're saying, I'm the person, I'm the director, I'm making a movie, I'm making a music video, I'm making this, and this is the woman I want to represent it, and you're saying, I want that Cardi B looking woman who also has bars, you are alienating a good portion of women who could do the part,
You're right.
who
like
don't
looking
look
for a
like
cheap
that.
But but there's a flip side to that. Towards the end of 2021, I looked up and realized I've sold 13 scripts. And I said to myself, gee, that makes me a professional writer. I need to really actually begin to embrace this. So I sat down and I wrote this script and I called it Her Story to Tell. And it was a female based with Candace actually as the lead. And I looked back and I said to myself, wow, this is the best script I've ever written. I should probably get a master's degree in script writing. So I took it to this particular company and they said, let's have a conference call. And it was me and 5 Jewish guys on the phone. And one of them said, I kid you not, a Jewish guy in Florida said to me, first off, we're going to need you to make it a little more, how can I say this, Pharaoh, without offending you? I'm like, shit, I'm straight shooter. A little more ratchet.
They like that shit because
Then he
their
told-
wives ain't.
then
They
he-
want to go out
then
and
he
look at
told
it
me-
and get a
Because
piece.
The
and
only way
that's
they would
that.
buy my script is if, one, I made it a little more ratchet, and I'm like,
They
but I
like
wrote
that
this
shit.
for Candace to have a role where she didn't have to be ratchet or show her physique or
Right.
anything of that level. I called myself, this is my women's empowerment script,
We need more.
where nobody
that's-
was going to be half
But
naked.
that's the
But that wasn't the
directive.
thing.
Yeah.
They ended up telling me on this conference call that the only way they would fund my project is if I made it a little more ratchet. I kept all the women under 35 and at least appeared to be under 35 in age, and they needed to be a little more sexy. And now I'm sitting here with this dilemma. I need this funding, shit back up, fire a couple of the females that I had already cast because these people needed them to have a particular look.
It's a catch
So
22.
what was I to
No,
do?
it's a catch 22 because
I
look
get
at
it.
look at Encanto,
So
right?
But I didn't
Encanto
do it. I stayed
didn't-
true to my artistry, but the script is now still sitting on my
Well,
hard
no,
drive.
I'm just saying it's a catch 22 because if you look
it
at
still needs to be
Encanto,
done.
right?
in
Louisa,
your original concept.
the strong sister.
But no one wants to give me money for my
But
original
you kept
concept.
Okay,
your
we got it.
I kept my
What's
integrity.
that
I
word?
put some on it. You know, I got
It's
cake.
worth nothing because
I got cake. You
because
already know. I got
I
some
need
on
this
it.
bread.
No, but I'm just saying, look at
Okay,
Encanto
Encanto.
and the strong sister. They didn't want them to draw that sister, Louisa, with muscles, right? And they thought the sister with all the flowers was going to sell. They made all these dolls for her. No kid wanted it. They wanted the sister with all the muscles. They ran out of stock with that.
Which that-
because
that
that
would
just goes to show that the people in charge
that's
right
if
now
something gets
don't
to the
realize
touch.
what is
But to
actually
get past
selling.
the, but to
Right,
get past the
what the people
gatekeepers,
really
Yeah, we're in
want.
a paradigm.
to get
Yeah.
past the gatekeepers, I literally
We are in a
had.
paradigm shift.
I've literally survived everything in these open
recognize
streets.
it.
From being shot, thrown off balconies, this and that, right? I've survived it all. I've had prison doors closed on me the whole nine. And for somebody to tell me, you got to make it a little more hood. And I'm like, motherfucker, it's already hood. I wrote it. It's hood by default.
Yeah.
That ain't.
But
So where
So-
do
what
we?
can I do?
So my question to you all, please
Women.
give your
Women.
Where do we, as
Creative.
creative consumers, where do we say enough is enough? I'm in a state, and this is just once again my own humble opinion. I'm a humble servant of the community, but I'll tell you how the fuck I feel. When it comes to the portrayal of us, I'm real cynical with shit, and I can be watching the show and it can be entertaining, but as soon as I see some buffoonery bullshit, whether it's, I ain't gonna get banned, I ain't gonna go there, because I've been banned before, but once I see certain shit that, we'll call them red flags, or smoke signals, I'm turned off from the show. I really am. And that's just because I've endured, like I said, hey, with the women, tits and ass, who the fuck doesn't want to see it? I get it. At the same time, I enjoy the pure artistry of shit because I'm a grown ass motherfucking man. I enjoy what I enjoy. You don't like it, I don't give a fuck.
Women enjoy seeing stuff too.
I know y'all.
That's
Yeah,
wrong.
great sweatpants. Yeah, I got a whole fucking. I got. Yeah, never mind.
Do we?
We know.
I mean, not like the stripper shit. Like
No,
my
just the
my
regular
girlfriend
shit.
had like a
Just
stripper
fucking
at her
gray beards
bachelorette
matter.
party, and more than half the women in there were like, "This is corny," and can you get your ass out my face? Like, women, we're into like a different kind of sex.
Yeah,
It's not. We don't.
motherfucker-
You know, I think what it is with women. We like stuff
put my
that's not
studious
so
glasses
in
on.
your face. Like, yeah, we kind of more like be smooth with it, be cool with it.
Subtle.
We like
Hey.
subtlety.
Put this-
And I think that's the difference
Studious.
with missing is the subtlety. Like we like men that are sexy that are subtle. Like, and I think it's
I'd like
very
to go
corny.
back though to what Kat was saying about Hamilton. If they would have told me, I guess I lack artistic integrity, because if they would have told me, go get a Cardi B type, I would have went and found a Cardi B type. Because it was such a big opportunity to get that on.
Yeah, but see what
so
happened
how do y'all
when they
feel
didn't?
about that as women in the entertainment industry? I know y'all
feel like
integrity
it's great.
keeps getting
No,
questioned
I feel like we
or
need
challenged.
in my
Some balance.
opinion, just as a writer, director,
Yes.
producer, we need the moments too. We need the ratchet. We need the. That's great,
a place
but
for it.
it's not enough of diversity within that. Like women, black women are on a spectrum as well, and most of us can be that or that. Like we could be ratchet too, or we
Listen.
Freak
might.
in the street, freak in the
Look,
streets.
look,
So
look,
you're
now-
saying women are more flexible in the
Well, then-
industry than
Women are more
men?
But you know
flexible
what?
than
When
men,
people,
period.
I'm gonna just say this, and like taking
a
it
dude
to
is
my
flexible,
profession, you know what I mean? Like when you say you a scientist, they look at you as the nerdy type with the white coat, all that good stuff, whatever, right?
And you're
Yeah,
a biologist. Speak
right.
on it.
I'm a biologist. I love being in the field. I love doing research. I can read an article all day, whatever.
You wear a nerdy white suit.
I can wear, you know what I'm saying? I
Somebody-
will wear the
it's a
white.
fetish for that.
No, he didn't
I
ask
will
can
wear
you, he
the
asked do
wait,
you.
wait. But listen,
I
if
got
I
some research I need to do. I'm gonna holler at
right,
you right
but no,
quick.
no.
Go for
But
it.
if I hear we taking over for the 99 and 2000, guess what? I'm gonna go bounce my ass too
How
and
about
go
that?
have some fun.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
Let me tell
it's
you
not one
I'm
or
not
the
mad.
other.
Right.
It's
That's
a
what
combination.
That's what I'm saying. It's
But the
not
gate-
enough of a
But the
diversity.
gatekeepers want us to be rigid.
But that's the problem. You could quit bowing down to the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
I come from an era where
I
let me tell you
have
something.
no choice. Like
The-
I
the-
chose
I
for the
get it.
first
Hey.
time in my
You do have a
career, and I've
choice.
been in the business
Bruh,
since the
I'm
early
with
90s. For
you.
the first time in my
I
career,
ride
I
with you
chose
all
artistic
day.
integrity, and I've been kicking myself in the ass ever since.
For now, because
we
they
gotta
said no
continue-
doesn't mean the next person
We got to
will say
continue
yes.
to reinforce and stand behind the
All right,
platform.
y'all say that.
Because
Then. All right.
I'm gonna tell you something. Don't get me wrong. Once again, all you dudes that might end up watching be like, "Oh, this dude on some bullshit." No, tits and ass run the world. I love it, motherfucker. Yeah, but let me tell you something. Get you a cool chick with them librarian glasses. With
My
her cup of
husband
tea.
loves when I wear my glasses.
Good,
I'm
man,
gonna
hey,
put
yo,
that
I'm
in.
just saying, bro. I appreciate all the shit we love. I do, wholeheartedly. But there's some, man. You niggas, excuse
When I
me.
take my braids out and I put some
You people
glasses
better
on.
wake your game up, man. Cause
I'm just gonna say
tits and ass
back to the
last for so
glasses
long.
though.
Yeah,
My
That's
husband
why-
loves when I like first take my braids out and my hair is just like big and I put some glasses on.
I'm saying. It's
I
some
can
shit.
have whatever
the
I
music
want.
man, what's happening, bro? Thank you for tuning in.
Right.
But
I
Let
had to
me
throw
say-
that
let
in
me
there.
say
Go-
something though.
go
I think
for it.
for real, like it don't matter if what kind of entertainment it is, whether it's film or music. I mean, that's what we do here.
Right.
So that's what I'm talking about. But like the executive, it's an investment to them. They gonna want tits and
get
ass,
it.
and for the
get
men, they're gonna want. If you don't look like something, you ain't, bruh. Like
It's
unless
a
you
lane
young,
for
yeah, you
everything.
could have a video where you in buckets. But other than that, they're gonna be like, come back and holler at me when you got 200 more thousand, and then we can
Views.
talk. You know what I'm
Look
saying?
at
So
Lizzie.
it's a stereotype. Do
It's
we
big-
choose to fit into that
It's a
stereotype
BBW
to
lane.
be successful? Do we balance it out? I mean, I think
That's
that's
just
what
a one exception.
that you know. So it's just all entertainment.
Like I
it's just
said,
like
if there was more women at the charge, you'd get different interpretations of that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you.
There should be more women in charge.
Yeah, but look
there
at,
should
like-
be, but,
There
it's
will
a-
be.
I'm gonna take it to a whole different level. But you look at the news, right? You look at how they portray Africa.
Well, I don't watch the news.
But I'm just saying, like, when
I get
growing up,
Yeah.
the way they portray Africa is poor
Huts.
huts. You got these kids with these swollen bellies,
Yeah.
give
Cell
money,
phones.
all that stuff.
$25.99.
But the reality is that's not true.
No,
Right?
it's
That's not true. So yes, right now, and it's fading out. But right now, the people in charge is saying ass and titty rule. But they're starting to see it does. But
It
they're starting to
sells.
see that substance.
Y'all seen
Right.
that new
Also
show,
said
it.
Rich
When
Africans
crack
or
don't
something?
sell.
Yeah, I binge
Yeah,
watched that. I
That's
binged it
a
last
good
week.
little-
I difference,
I
Kevin.
know the difference. Yeah,
It's,
Kenny.
but,
When crack
I'm
don't
like, is
sell,
there colorism going on?
Yes,
Vagina
like, all
will.
of them were
And they
light.
all,
But-
yeah,
All
they
them
all
was
trying
skin
to say,
bleaching.
The brown
Yes.
skinned woman is insecure, but I'm like, she's the
She's
only one that's got the natural. Yeah.
And she's the only one that
I was
kinda
mad
had
at
a
myself for
normal-
even watching that
I watched
shit.
that shit too, and they came in
what
with
was it?
Young, rich Africans.
But they,
I ain't watched that.
all
I
the
seen
women
it, but I
were
didn't watch
bleached.
it.
South Africa.
Oh,
All
that's
of
a-
it was, like, not all of them,
Okay.
but
but
it's
majority.
South Africa. This
So-
is right. That's right.
I
That's
haven't
like
watched
LA.
that, but
I guess
from
so.
what I
I think
know,
it's like LA.
but that's the media once again trying to control the narrative
Yes.
of I gotta do this, I gotta, the darker the sweeter the juice. We all know that.
But you know,
and media will put you in a perspective subconsciously because everything you watch goes into your subconscious. If you don't know that, you living under a rock. And I used to tell people, go kill yourself, but I really don't want you to kill yourself no more. I really want you to grow.
Go
But what did
educate
Chris
yourself.
Rock
Tell
say
them go
about the
educate
media?
yourself.
Yeah, fuck the media.
What Chris Rock
But
said about
we're
the media,
media.
though? I ain't looking over my shoulder for the media at the ATM.
Shit, they there. But once again,
Colorism and stuff like
It-
that
it
is
will-
so ingrained in our
until-
community. If the media never
but
said
until
nothing,
we
it
address
would
it,
be there.
attack it, and demolish it, you got to think outside the box and come back and destroy the box. As long as we allow ourselves to live in this square, this ain't
You
a
can't
square.
destroy the box if the other
Yes, you
people inside
can.
the box is like, hey, what the fuck is you doing?
Long-
Be cool.
yes, you
like this
can.
box.
When you here's the thing, if remember like a bully or somebody, not even really a bully, but somebody who get on your nerves, what do they need? Your attention. If I don't give you my attention, you don't exist.
Say something. Well,
So if when do we as a collective really stop playing by the rules of a game that wasn't designed to let us prosper?
But
When
watch
do
the
we-
Venus Lounge on Fridays. Every Friday on Facebook Live at 7:00. We have the answers to all of these.
That's a revolutionary
You know what I'm
act.
saying?
not
But
to
you know
the
what?
Venus
The
Lounge.
thing
When
is,
do
like,
we do that?
we
stop
as an
making
adult,
excuses.
we as adults understand it. But
Yeah.
what we teach our kids.
Right.
Well, what
Because
can we
it's
teach our
hard.
kids if we're caught in
No,
a
my
pattern of
kids are kind of
dysfunction?
teaching me right now. My kids.
But I'm just saying, like, a lot of youth right now is all on social
They
media.
woke.
They
These
they
youth-
woke, but they seeing the Kim Kardashians. They make it like I see
It
15-year-olds,
depends which ones. 'cause
fully faced, right? And that's cool.
When I was 14,
That's cool if that's
15,
what you
chicks
want to
wasn't
do.
allowed to have all that. Actually, they just had, remember they had, y'all remember, we all,
Lip liners.
remember they
Little
did, that
rouge.
little black line around the
Ooh,
lips,
that
and then
shit
you
was
had,
sexy.
that shit was sexy as fuck. But
we
I
were
will say
in
this,
LA
and this is just coming from
90s, I used to do that
like
shit.
once again,
the cholas.
a full-blooded male, and I put sugar in my grits, but there's no sugar in my tank. So the sexiest thing a woman can wear, besides a smile that I put on her face, is a t-shirt.
Yo t-shirt.
Exactly.
A big.
But you know what? But I put it to you this way when I talk about kids, right? Recently, I was at Chabot Space and Science talking to an astronaut, Yvonne
Yes.
Cagle,
Yes.
Dr. Yvonne
Yes.
Cagle,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
But I'm looking this. She's a black astronaut from the Bay,
Yes.
right? But we talking, looking at
shared that.
audience. No, but we looking at audience. You know how many black kids we saw versus white and
Probably
Asian?
two.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying when we talk about our kids. Like, we need to expose our kids to more and not just what's on social media
Oh, yeah,
and
for
television.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Mentally, it's almost impossible to break those shackles
TT's saying
for
no.
some of
I
those
want to know
people.
why she's nodding her head no.
Disagree.
Disagree.
How so?
But before I disagree,
Yeah.
why is it impossible?
Well, like I've seen, like I have several siblings. Some of them, unfortunately, due to their actions and stuff, didn't make it, and those who did make it are serving colossally long prison sentences. They can perfectly break down society, right? But if you let them out them gates, I guarantee you, before this month is over, they will have murdered somebody or robbed somebody. Because it's easy for us to see the chains and articulate, oh, I've got these chains and the powers that be have placed these chains upon me, this and that. But to actually take those chains out and function in this society, and you don't have the foundation to do so, it's pretty much impossible.
I'm a counter
It's
with that.
not
I'm a
impossible.
counter that, and then I want to
It's
go to
very
what you
possible.
wanted to
Everything's
say.
There's a reason why
Well,
the
I'ma counter that.
recidivism rate is so high.
Right, but see,
Not
I
everybody's a dummy who keeps violating parole.
no,
They
but no.
just
Let me
can't.
tell you. No, let me say this. My core is science, right? My core is STEM, education, whatever. My 9 to 5 is financial education, and I work for a nonprofit that works with people coming out of prison.
Yes.
And if you want that change, right? If you want that change, you fight the change, because everyone I talk to on the financial side, you coming out of prison with nothing. But I've gotten people into houses with their cars and jobs and all that stuff. Their credit scores is that better than mine
But
sometimes.
you
What is your success
did the
rate?
work.
What
It
is your
doesn't matter
success
if it's 2 or 3.
But it's
No,
not
it doesn't
about
matter.
my success rate is
If it's
high.
a 2 or 3, then that
but
means that those
it's
are
on-
exceptions to the rule.
No, my success rate is high, but that's because the people coming out that come through our program, they got to do a whole 2-week thing. They got to prove that they want it. And then when they come out, like, listen, we give you all the resources. So we got to stop saying we don't
So
have it,
you're
but the
talking about 30, 40
resources is
people out of
there.
several thousand.
No,
who
but the
only-
Say that about
resources
anything
there.
That 30, if you script writing, how many people are successful as script writers out
Very
of all?
few.
Right. So you could pretty much say that about anything. It's what's inside of you that wants it. The odds are always going to be against you, no matter what you're doing across the board. So
Right.
it's how much do you want that? You're
I
a great
say-
writer, but I'm gonna be the best writer. I might not be the best writer in the room, but I'm gonna work 10 times as hard as everybody in the room.
But
I'm not the best director. I'm not the best producer, but I'm gonna work harder.
But
than
I'm a
the-
big fan of yours.
But
I'm
you-
just
you-
saying,
you
I
got
go
this
into my
person-
work knowing I'm gonna work harder than everybody. I might not be the best, but I'm gonna work harder and I'm gonna use my resources.
I just put this is gonna be my last
be
thing.
across the
Like
board.
Anthony said, shout out to Ketanji Jackson, right?
Yeah, I responded
Yeah,
to that.
but you know the thing is, I say this as a parent, because I'm a parent now. As a parent,
Shout out
how
to
many
Boss
of
Baby.
you, how many of them people with kids is making them watch what Ketanji is going through versus they watching YouTube or
True.
something else? It's
I'll
what
be
you
honest, I'm not paying
expose.
What you mean?
attention
What
to
you
the
going through?
It's
and all
a
that
double-edged
matters is
sword.
she's in her position, and I mean maybe I should be paying attention to the discourse, but for me, I don't want to get caught up
Yeah.
in the whole narrative.
That's the game right
that-
there.
That's the game.
I don't want to get caught
That's
up
the
in that.
game.
She has her position,
Right.
That is
That's
the game.
Talking about what
that's
she's
what I'm.
going through, though. What
But
y'all
yeah, you don't have to watch the whole
Just
thing.
the
But like as a
You're
parent,
right.
are you saying?
Double-edged sword.
Ain't
It
nobody
is.
else
Which-
going
which-
But
through.
no, you ain't got to watch the whole
I
thing. But you can
responded.
say as a parent, hey, do you know what Ketanji Jackson's about to do?
Yeah.
And you have that conversation as a
Representation.
parent.
But
You
what
know
did
what I'm
she
saying?
go
You ain't
through,
got to
though,
go
so
through
far?
the whole
You-
thing. I mean, well,
Representation. It's
just
and,
them questioning her ability to be able to do her job with the type of credentials that
No,
she has.
that's
And here's-
that's all politics. They do that every time.
Every
the
day.
Republicans, the Democrats do it. That's something different.
It's
But
a
like,
game.
They can't. It's a
To
game.
your,
It's a
to
video
your
game.
point,
But they can't deny her.
I
She
feel-
went to Harvard. What? I mean,
right?
Howard
Harvard and Harvard Law.
Yeah, Harvard.
It does
But
seem
then
like
the
there's a
other
little
thing is,
sharper
like,
edge to
why
how
do
they
you
getting
wanna
at
play
her.
their
And
game
she's
too?
like one of the
Thank
only Supreme Court justices that will
She has
have
more
actually
trial
tried
experience
cases.
than
Yeah.
all,
Yeah,
of
all of them
the
on there.
current Supreme Court justices combined.
Exactly.
I get that. So here's the thing. I'm gonna just say this: it's a double-edged sword,
Yeah, somebody
For
said
me.
that.
yeah.
personally, and here's why. And I'm just gonna be blatantly honest with my opinion, and I'm not saying my opinion is based on my opinion. So once again, double-edged sword. The black man in me will always be, hey, there's a sister there. Yeah, woo woo woo. The wise man in me is also, okay, what's her affiliations, what's really her track record on these different things. And some of y'all gonna be like, here we go, niggas always hating on niggas when we get there. Every black person that they put in fucking front of you ain't for you. And I will tell you that shit wholeheartedly.
I got one thing to say. I see you leaning in. The case in point, Clarence Thomas. He's an Uncle Tom. He's not.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, listen to me. Let me give you some game.
Tom was cool.
I was finna go there. That's what I'm finna do. Uncle Tom was the good one. It was it Sambo? Sambo, you read the book. Uncle Tom was the good dude.
If you read the book, but in the common vernacular,
if
you want to communicate with people, you got to communicate with them where they are. Uncle Tom is a bad thing.
Right.
In the
It
common
just sounds
vernacular.
bad.
I'm just saying, he's
Anthony,
he's a
you're right.
black
She
man.
had a white husband. You're right. She does.
The first justice since what's his name? That was before him.
Thurgood Marshall.
Thurgood.
But he votes almost all the time with the conservative
But
white
he doesn't
folks.
get to dissent. He's
You know what I'm saying?
he's
But the
actually
problem-
limited. Clarence Thomas was actually limited in what he could
Dude.
do within the Supreme Court. He didn't.
Yeah,
have-
but even lately he's been voting. He's not
I'm
been
gonna go
voting.
deep with you.
He's
I'm gonna
been
go deep
voting
with you.
conservative, and
I'ma
it's
give
like
you
that's
something.
cool if you're gonna be there as a black man, but you're not.
I
You're
read
not
his
really-
bi-
let me
I
give
read
you
his
something.
biography, so
I
I
haven't-
understand where he's coming from.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I
want
haven't
you to
read his
speak on that,
biography,
sister.
so-
Please
Oh.
do.
I'm just listening.
No,
I
I
read
want you- I want
Clarence
you to hear
Thomas'
'cause
biography,
I think
and
we
he was
think alike.
raised by a very harsh. He was raised by a
Speak
very
on it.
harsh grandfather in South Carolina, and when he went to college, he's one of those black men who will do anything basically for white acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
And there was
this is the key.
and there was an
Yeah.
indication
We're gonna
that there was a little running
Go ahead.
joke on the campus
Yeah.
that he was only there due to affirmative action.
Right.
So, and he actually did get in due to
Imagine
affirmative
that,
action.
getting a job based
But-
on your race.
But then he decided
They-
to
they-
prove
they're
his
affirmative
worth.
actioning.
To prove his worth in the 70s, he became literally a warrior against affirmative action. And the 80s with conservatives decided that he was very useful because they wanted to attack affirmative action, even though white women are the biggest beneficiary. To the public, they think people like us are
It
winning.
was never our war.
They wanted to dismantle affirmative action, and here
And
was
that's gonna always
was
be-
a dark-skinned black man
Right.
who was willing to go to
Champion.
There was no limits, and thus he got backing, and thus he actually got to the point to get on the Supreme Court. When, if you look at his, I mean, they're all lawyers and they all went to prestigious universities, but if you look at his history of cases tried, legal opinions and stuff like that, he would be considered unqualified.
to today's standard.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just
And
like,
so-
and this is no slight to Rosa Parks.
So that's
None
what
at all.
Clarence Thomas is for.
When
He's
it
there
came to-
fight a certain fight, and that's
And-
it.
So,
Right.
Without
so
even
listen.
reading the biography, I knew it.
So it's just like even with Rosa Parks when it came to the bus boycott thing. Before Rosa Parks, there was a
another
young
woman.
sister who was a teenager but was pregnant. She didn't fit the criteria to get the public sympathy outcry of the situation because you got a young melanated sister, queen, young queen, princess, I'm gonna call her that, who didn't fit the
There's a but
criteria.
to that.
I get that. But once again, society, and we've fallen for the banana in the tailpipe over and over and over again. And I'm just a dude that just be
I
like,
just
dude,
don't
this some
know
bullshit.
why we want to be so a part of their institutions.
Thank you.
Because I look at, like, I read a lot about Egyptian mythology and
The Book of the Dead, I got all.
yeah, and
I got
just
that.
how like
I'm down.
that was the original, like how Greek mythology, like
Start-
all of the main institutions are based off
Where it
Greek
came from?
mythology, which is stolen Egyptian mythology, and I just don't understand why we want to be so accepted into
Copyright infringement at its finest.
into their
You
institutions.
can say it's a form of brainwashing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
why do we get so much validation? And I mean I
Why
just
are
mean
toilets
collectively
white?
Black people. Why even looking at each
Because it's
other, like
always people
if
ready
you
to
if
sell
you
out for
I
that
used to
dollar.
get
That
into
dollar is
arguments
crazy.
with my brother-in-law because I read a lot about the body and the mind and how it's connected. We talk about science all the time. I'm not a scientist. I don't know anything about, but I read a lot.
Dabble.
But But then because my sister went to school and she's a doctor, she's a PA, and got her degree from their institution, then that holds, something
Sort of.
over everything else. Yes.
It does.
I mean, I think it depends. So, like in my career, my profession, if
Yes,
I
ma'am.
was to get involved with the State Department of Education, I'm an instructional designer by trade. So,
There you go.
I think to me that would be validating because I know that my peers that have pretty much put me in that position.
Yeah.
These are people that know the field. They're experts. They've studied, no matter what their race is, their ethnicity, or their background, their knowledge. They're saying, okay, Talia knows her stuff. She's an expert in this field, and we can trust her to have an impact upon a ton of people. So to me, that is validating. Whoever is doing it, it's like what institutions do we have
Well, that's what I'm saying.
that can give me that same type
Because
of
a lot of these
position?
information, I mean, look at the pyramids. I mean, if you're talking about structural, but they're not going to give that credit, and that's what I'm saying. They make us feel like African civilization has not contributed anything to modern civilization.
Well, we know it
and
has,
whenever,
so
right, but
that's-
it's not
not
enough
for
to
me.
say, for me, whenever we're referencing, the mystics or the greats, we're referring to Plato, Socrates. It always goes back to these three
White men.
dudes. Yeah, and it's like there was a
Who
whole
they learn
history
from?
us, from Egyptians. Like, so why
Not from
doesn't
Egyptians,
why
sis.
isn't that noted when we go to the schools and study our medicines and our sciences? They always go back to Greek mythology.
Yeah.
And so there's this subconscious thing in our mind
Right.
that
Same reason why your
we
toilet
why
is
we
the color
trust
it is.
why we trust the system more than anything else.
Same reason
That
your
is-
cut,
Because
your
we've been
toilet, the
indoctrinated.
traditional
From a young
toilet
age.
is the
Indoctrination.
color it is.
That's what I'm getting at.
Well, I think the system is organized. Like the system is relevant. So like what
Gotta destroy it.
organizations exist that are using like what current organization is directly linked to the pyramids that has an impact in our life? Because
Right.
if there was some sort of institution or organizational body that's directly linked to African culture that can impact us the
It
way we
ain't
want
gonna
to
be
be
direct.
Shut down
impacted,
early.
They gonna
then-
use all the math and all the shit to
Well,
build
that
all
could
these
have-
high rises,
to-
but they ain't gonna say nothing about how they figured
that
it
could
out.
be that is a possibility, but also I believe that we are educated enough to use the math ourselves and create institutions. It's going to take some time. We might not
That's
even be
what I was
alive to
getting
see
at.
it,
That's
and
what I
I'm
was
okay
getting
with
at.
that.
Yeah.
But I think we have to
finna
kind of
segue.
keep our expectations. Manage our expectations. One, we are doing pretty good as Black people. We're doing pretty good.
Stop calling
And
us
then,
black. We're not black.
what are we then?
Melanated beings
Okay,
from
melanated
God.
In
beings.
the
from
common
God.
vernacular, we're
Yeah.
black.
I'm not gonna
I got
argue
you.
with
I'm
that.
light skinned.
Light skin, all of that,
You got that.
us.
I'm
We're doing
mid.
a pretty good job, but I
We
feel
are.
like in terms of the changes we want to see, we just
We're
have to.
doing better.
We're doing better.
But it's a.
Are we?
I'll say
We have
it's
a lot
an
of work
uphill
to do.
battle.
We are.
So
we
I
are.
think we're doing
I'm
better
a-
until.
I'm just tired of
I
their
just wanna say one
institutions.
thing.
I'm gonna go ahead.
And
I'm
the
gonna segue into our
indoctrinations.
whole conversation. I'm gonna tie it all in.
So
I got one thing to add.
Go
this
ahead.
isn't my
A
first
little.
first rodeo, but I'm looking for property. When I go out, I don't see no Black people. It's me,
I got
predominantly Indians.
Mhm.
No
Chinese.
disrespect, because I got a lot of
Asians.
Indian partners,
Me too.
Asians, and a few whites.
I got
Where are you
cash
looking
and
at
capital.
property?
We just gotta hustle
Where-
a little
Bay
harder.
Area,
Thank you.
In the Bay Area.
The
in the
book.
Cause
Bay
I just
Area,
I just copped the duplex and I'm about to build 12 units on the back, but I literally had to out hustle and I had to get with some brothers like Reese and stuff like that to guide me through
Shout
like
out to my
But what
team.
like
you
it was
seen-
a
but what you
complicated
seen-
process.
But when you was out
Shout out
looking,
to
were
my
you seeing
team. We make
people who
shit
look
happen.
like us?
No, I felt like I was on an island by myself. So that's why when I ran
gotta
into
get
Reese and he was
like-minded.
able to guide
And
me.
that's why when I
And
think
stuff
I'm
like
doing
that.
good and
I'm
I
a
look at shit
conduit.
like that, I don't feel good.
But
It
y'all
don't make me
doing
Here's the thing is
I
like
don't feel good because
I'm
it's
tired of
10 of
this
them
shit.
and one of us.
I'm gonna put it to you like
I'm gonna tell you.
right.
I'm tired
Look
of the
at
institutions and the
Hotel
indoctrinations.
Rwanda.
Oh yeah, bro.
Look at Hotel Rwanda. Look at the fighting that was there,
You know,
right?
they just sentenced him to prison.
Okay, but
the
my
hotel
point is, right? You got two different black people. A white person came in and said this group is better than that group, and it caused contention. And that's what, no disrespect, because I got a lot of white friends, but that's what white people do. They come in, they cause contention, and they say, "Hey, we think that this group is better than that group," and the whole thing, we all melanated.
Because they set the standard.
Right.
Let me ask
We
something.
have
But no, let me say, I'm gonna say this. But if you look at America's history, right? Slavery was one thing, but then you got, they had internment camps for Japanese and Chinese.
Facts.
They said no Irish should work here, right? They had the no Jewish law, but at the end of the day, those groups came together. Jewish came together. Now they run Hollywood. The Irish came together. They all in
Yeah, they
Catholicism.
running liquor.
But when it comes to African American melanated people,
settle
we
for
still
ass shaking.
are. We're still being. As soon as we come together,
bring it back.
then it's the fight on
'Cause we
drugs.
don't
No, it's
trust
the fight
each
on
other.
drugs, and then they have a reason to
trust each other.
separate
Going right
us.
where I was going to go.
You know what I'm saying?
I was
And
going to
so-
bring it back to, not to cut you off, but this is exactly where I was going to bring it back to your point, sis. When you said we reach and get to these platforms and we have these things, but we'd rather settle for some sister sitting here shaking her ass and titties. Don't get me wrong, we love that shit, but
Settle for the money,
It's
we
not enough.
we settle for glitter instead of
gold.
butter and bullets. Remember the term butter and bullets?
Okay, this is a metaphor.
you
So
can't-
you saying we settle for money?
We settle for
Accolades.
Thank you. We
But-
settle for Instagram likes, mentions, and follows because that's the
Currency.
ignorant.
But if you-
excuse-
currency.
that's the ignorant currency.
But if you don't
of
have
today.
if you don't have an institutional foundation established in you that says these things
I
are
fuck
of no
with you.
value or this and that, you need concrete value.
That's what I was getting
Like
at
many of
earlier.
us grow up in families,
Yes.
not all of us, because I don't want to paint the poverty picture, but many of us grow up in families that no one owns property, no one owns stock.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember I got out in the world
But
and I
but
tried to
that's
write a check.
right,
and
also
know how.
that's also
nobody
a
had a checking
European
account.
standard as well. Even
Thank you.
even
What,
that
for
because there's a
property?
legacy that you can leave your children that don't have nothing to do with property. It don't have nothing to do with money.
Generational
It's something
wealth.
that you could teach it. This is what I'm
is
saying.
that?
We're measuring our value
But I
system.
didn't know any better.
But
But
you know
what I'm
That's-
saying is you
So
act like
measures-
it's no
measuring
value
stick.
to not leave your kids. Okay, I can't leave you a house, but I'm gonna leave you with what you need to get you a
That's
house.
what we got.
I'ma
That's what our
leave you the
generation
tools.
got, though.
But
I
you
didn't
know,
get
but
none
you
of that.
got to look at the education system. If you listen to TED Talks, and Sir Ken Robinson says it the best, schools teach you to work in factories. They
Right.
say you're this age, you learn this, you go into a factory. I just saw a video
Yeah,
earlier
that's true,
today
yeah.
where they be like,
But
the
if
thing
you
they
come
don't
from
teach
several
you is
generations
how to
of
work
factory
together.
workers,
You
you're
can-
not going to suddenly break
You
out
can
of
still,
that.
but you can still leave your kids something, and they can fuck it up because they don't have the
Trust
foundation.
fund kids always fuck
It
it up.
doesn't. I have cousins in my family who, on my dad's
of
side,
luck, what's
they
happening?
have houses upon houses upon houses,
Yes.
and my dad and my mom are the only couple in my probably both sides of my family that me and my sisters graduated from college, and like on both sides, and we didn't have nothing growing up. But me and my sisters and my brothers are independent. We're focused. We work hard. And they didn't, by those standards, were able to give us anything. But now we have property in my
But you're an
mom.
exception to the rule.
But you can always be. You can always be. Yes.
I don't believe in
It-
that.
I feel
I don't
like it
believe in
should-
that equality.
No.
Some of us
It happens.
are
I've
more
seen it.
special than others.
No, but I feel like it's
I'm
what
just
we teach our kids.
I was addressing your statement about we don't leave our kids generational wealth, and I'm
Life
defining
insurance.
wealth as not just money.
Not just money.
And that's a
True.
very European.
But we don't leave our kids
standard.
generational knowledge.
I
either.
agree
That's
with you.
important
It,
too.
it's,
I agree with
No, I
you
think
wholeheartedly.
knowledge is wealth, me.
But I'm gonna be devil's advocate, which is my role. We have to leave more than just money, but you have to have money because you can't buy
Right.
the barter system that grew that we watched the Europeans do when they traded corn and whatever with the Native Americans. I'm not gonna call them Indians because they're not Indians. Indians live in India. So you people that's
But in
calling
common vernacular,
No,
I'm-
the motherfucking
The natives.
misnomer of
Natives.
bullshit mind.
You gotta communicate
dissolving.
with people where they're at.
Yeah, exactly. The shit that you
Take
was
it
taught
upstairs.
is lost and bullshit. You're taught what you're taught for a reason. Please understand that first. And if you're gonna go down the rabbit hole, you're gonna get angry. You're supposed to get angry. Get angry. But learn some shit. Because if you don't know shit,
But don't get too angry and not necessarily because the pander back to what Renee was saying in regards to Egyptology and the things like that.
Just African.
A lot of our elders,
Fresh,
our
what's
grandparents who did come and start trying to teach us certain knowledge, so many of them were actually grifters. So they used that little bit of knowledge, gave it to
mouth
us,
to ear.
they used that to manipulate us. And then you have people saying like things like, oh, all health can be cured if you get a mucus in the body. You know, absolutely foolish. The mucus in the body, you won't get cancer. Or whatever, you know, whatever, like, so you get that, you got, so that's why we don't have a lot of Egypt-based institutions, because the first ones who came with the knowledge exploited the rest of us.
But
They
look
started
at-
telling us
hold
about
on,
Moorish
wait a minute,
science,
wait a minute.
Nation of
Hold
Islam, you get the Dr.
I
CB
don't-
types, and
But hold on, wait a minute, hold on.
But
I'm
hold on.
finna- let me hold on.
We
Let me.
getting deep
So
now.
yeah, we go there. We gonna, but hold on. let me
that
say something.
grandfather generation
Look
who
at-
first came with some
I understand
knowledge.
that.
A lot of them were grifters and hustlers that used that to
I
sell
under-
books and
understand that.
bad
Here, I got
pseudoscience
you over here.
to the rest of us.
No,
Hey, you know
I mean
what I'm saying?
some of it is pseudo, but some
You
of
got
it
you,
is
you
not.
got a
Some
Dr.
of it is
Simi talking
traditional.
about
Actually,
talking about if you get rid of mucus in your body, you won't get cancer and diabetes.
But why don't you
But-
think that's legitimate?
Oh, thank you.
Well,
Because he didn't go to the institution.
no, because it's
Does he have
what would that
patience? No, no,
scientifically be based on?
I'll
He
say this.
had science that actually proved it.
Here's
in
the thing.
When he
It's
said
like,
he cured
I think
HIV and he
he
cured
did.
AIDS and he cured diabetes, it's like Jesus
But he
Christ.
did.
For real.
But here's
But
the
why
thing.
don't
Here's
you
the
believe that?
thing.
Why
How
don't
many?
you
How many?
believe
How many people of
Because
melanated
it just came
descent
off to me as a grift.
have been prosecuted by this U.S.
This is
government
exactly what I'm
corporation
talking
and
about.
won? Did he lose his case?
But you gonna go to
Yes,
college?
Yes, he lost
No,
the
he
case.
did not.
That's false misinformation
He did not
that they
lose.
Here,
spread.
let me
tell you
say
something.
this.
If a person with my limited knowledge, if I decide to go bad and use it for the grift, I could have a cult within a couple
You probably
months.
could.
Well, of course.
You know.
No, but let
the
me say
hospital
this.
is a
Let me
grift.
say this.
You know, with the booster.
you.
They
But let me
grifted
say this.
too.
Here's the
Everybody
thing.
grifting. Shit.
Here's the
Let's
thing.
grift.
His words probably weren't the best, right? But if you actually look at the American diet, the American
It's
diet
shit.
is the worst
Given-
diet.
You're
And
giving-
your
spoiling you,
diet,
cat.
no,
You
but
were-
it's
I-
real.
you-
No, but it's real.
Oh,
She's-
Kat,
No, it's
I
real.
know you ain't.
No, let me
I
tell
know
you like
you ain't
this.
a Dr. Siri
No,
defender.
I didn't say I didn't. I don't
Okay.
follow all his stuff, but I'm gonna just say it like this: if you go to a different country and you go to their markets, you go outside and you look at lettuce and it's been eaten on by a bug. American thought is that lettuce is
It's not
bad
good, yeah.
because a bug ate on it. But the reality is
That
there's
bug
a
was
bug
good.
with the brain size of the dot of a pencil decided that lettuce was good enough to eat. But the lettuce we have here, that bug wouldn't touch. Why? Because of pesticides.
Thank
because
you.
of what's wrong with the American diet.
There's
I went.
There's a
no,
flip,
no,
there's a
no.
flip
I
side
went.
to
No,
that.
no,
If
no.
you,
Hold
if
on,
you
hold
say
on.
if you say if
Hold
you
on.
eat this way and you do this, you're
I ain't
healthy,
no bug.
and I could be like, yes, that's
No,
common
no,
sense,
listen,
right?
like-
If you eat,
understand.
if you avoid these certain refined sugars, if you do this, okay, yes, that's right. But then if
I'm
I
not
did slide
saying-
in on you that, but if you take this particular concoction, it will cure diabetes, arthritis, and AIDS.
See, I'm not
you just
saying
got
that. I'm
ridiculous.
not saying
And now
that
you just
in
lost
particular.
me. But the good con man is going to mix in some
Okay, listen, I'm not
indisputable
saying-
facts.
I'm not
You
gonna
made
say
way
listen.
off making
But then if you
snake
go to
oils and all that
Walgreens,
shit back in
If
the
you
day.
go to Walgreens and you see something on the shelf that says this will cure this, this, and that, you're gonna be like, yeah.
But you know, but you can go to Walgreens and get a vitamin, right? And I said, oh, I'm taking vitamin C.
Why do
The
women
amount
wear
of
makeup?
actual vitamin C
Oh,
in that
Lord.
pill is very small.
You know that's marketing.
But it's
You're
marketing.
saying-
But what
you're
I'm saying is,
you can apply that to makeup.
diet plays a big role
and
in
not
health.
just what you eat, what you
In
think,
health. Not
how
saying
you talk,
AIDS and all that
how
stuff gonna be fixed.
What your it's
But
not just
diet
what you
plays
eat,
a big
though.
role.
It's a proven fact that your stomach is your second brain.
Right. Yep.
So
If
what
it's
you
good for
put
your
in-
liver, it's good for your brain.
What you put in
We suffering from wild hotepism right now.
No.
I ain't no hotep nigga, but I understand some shit.
No. Here's the thing. I put it to you this way.
I don't know everything, but I know half of something.
Why ADHD?
Because it's
all
allowed.
those things are
Sedentary
big. No.
lifestyles and
It's
refined
big.
sugar. But
It's
that's-
big in America.
Because
It's
that's
not
how they
big
want you.
in Africa. It's
That's-
not
see,
big in
that's
Asia.
what bothers me too about the European way of
Thank
approaching
you.
things. You need data, you need statistics. It's not enough for experience
Well, you
to
do
enter.
need empirical
No,
evidence
but-
to come to a conclusion.
But see,
To
that
whose
right
standards?
there says who? Because you can get a bunch of black people
Anyone
in
that
the room,
subscribes to
My brain
academic
likes it.
rigor.
My
but
brain
it's
likes
not
on
just
this.
academia. It's
can't
not just what's written
allow
down on paper.
ourselves to
That's
submit to
that's
their
the
standards.
problem. What I'm
Yeah, but
saying.
if you don't write nothing
But see,
down
but
on
see, this is
paper to rebut
exceptionalism.
it, then
If you find
No,
it
no,
on
I-
Renee, you're
I
suffering
will-
from
No.
exceptionalism at this
No,
moment.
no,
You might be an
no,
exceptional
no,
person,
no,
but a lot of
no,
people
that's
out
not-
there
no,
suffer
that's
from
not-
Dunning-Kruger effect.
not what I'm
The
getting at.
Dunning-Kruger effect. They go read a Wikipedia article and
Wikipedia is whack.
literally think that they are knowledgeable about the
understand
subject.
that.
I heard people
I
tell me that they
understand
shouldn't
that.
get the vaccine because all you gotta do is eat healthy, and I'm like, you're gonna reverse a lifetime of the American diet in a couple months, and then make your immune system to a level where you won't be
Because I
susceptible
make
to
over
death from
$100,000 a
COVID-19.
year.
That's
Listen,
completely
I'm not
preposterous.
I put it to you this way. I put it to
Facts.
you this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a couple that's fighting. You got he say, you got she say.
Thank you.
The truth is in the middle, right?
Mm-hmm. Always.
So majority of the time,
And guess
because
who
they're
pays?
gonna tell you their side to make themselves look good.
Who
But there's
pays?
men and
But
there's
you are a scientist, so you the last person I would
She
be
not the
expecting to
last.
say that.
She's keeping
no.
it
What
real.
I'm saying is this.
But I'm saying you telling me you base your experiments off of just he, she, she.
No,
No,
that's not what I'm
that's
They
saying.
get them information
That's not
from
what
the
I'm
state.
saying.
Where do they
Maybe
I'm not
trial.
saying
They go,
this.
that's what I'm
But
saying.
it's in a
It comes from
controlled.
the numbers,
Okay, but
the
it's still
facts.
coming from people's experience.
Right.
Right,
You
which
st-
ends up being a
so-
number.
But my point is this: in an experiment with controlled environment, that has to happen. You have to have a control to show what happens with the experiment.
Okay,
On one side.
facts.
Cause
On
and
the
effect.
other side, you have to listen to what people are saying and say maybe parts of what they are saying is true. Now, with Dr. Stevie saying I can cure AIDS, I don't know about that with diet. But I could say you're going to be more healthy if your diet is this way
I can agree with that.
versus eating an unhealthy American diet.
I can agree with
Right,
that.
that's what I'm saying when I say he say,
Fine,
she
it's somewhere
say,
in the middle.
it's in the middle. You know
It's
what I'm
a
saying?
great
It's
walk
not
towards-
fully
even
this
if
way.
it wasn't true or
It's
not,
not fully
it's
that
a nice
way.
walk
Body.
towards-
It's in the middle. Because I personally can eat burgers and pizza and all that
Which I
stuff
don't.
all day and I'll feel sluggish.
Right.
And my body will tell me you ain't eating enough
That's right.
greens.
That's
So
right.
when I start eating more greens,
feel
I feel better.
powerful. Yeah,
right?
you have more
Is it going
energy.
to keep me from getting COVID? Hell no. But it is in the middle. Right? I'm not gonna
There's
get
some
I may
truth to
not
it.
But
get
there has
this,
to be
but
some
I'm not gonna
context
get
with it.
that.
There
We
is
have to
some
acknowledge
truth to
It's
many
in
of
the
our
middle.
people. Many of our people have rejected. I don't know nothing about that. They
You
reject certain
condition-
things, and then when they do believe things, and I'm talking about from the
You gotta be
African American
upset in a minute.
perspective, when we believe things, we can be very dogmatic about
True.
it.
True.
That's why
Both ways.
I always oppose
Both
a
ways.
Dr. Sebi type, because he will say something that's true. And then based on that part is true, like we do need better eating habits. We do need to be more holistic in our eating. Then when he says, "Oh, I can cure these particular things,"
Yeah, you
since
lose
we've
it.
already,
You don't reckon
but
he's
many of
doing
us,
so.
since we've already believed in him in this, now we believe in everything
I
he's
I mean,
saying.
it
Okay,
all
I
goes down to
understand
belief,
that,
though.
but
it all goes
that-
down to what you believe.
True,
What
true.
you choose to believe will set your reality. That's
But
That's
there was
true. All right.
based on
a
belief
black
systems.
woman.
But I don't
It's
want you
all
to take
based
your
on
high
belief
blood
systems.
pressure pills and throw them in
But
the
you
trash.
believe that they
based-
work.
Yes.
So if you believe that
Hey,
they
there
work,
was a black woman
here's a
who made
question.
it to
But
almost.
I don't want you to throw them
Wait,
away and
there
think
was
you're
a.
going to
but
get
it's
changed in this particular
Answer
diet
this
and you're going to
question.
be good.
But
There
it
was a
is
black
diet.
woman that made it
If-
to 100.
It
They
is
asked her
diet.
how she made it to 100.
Vegetables and fruit.
She said she drank a Coke every day. A Coca-Cola every day.
An
I'm
exception.
gonna
Now,
go another
she's
level
an
with it.
exception to rule. Now, if I turn around and believe 100%, if I drink a Coke
But
every
that's
day, I'm going to
dumb
make it to
because that
100.
was what was for her.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
it's
got to
not- Say that
listen
again.
to your
It's not a
body.
one size
I'm going
fits all
to-
situation.
True.
Like back to your vaccine.
I'm a
I
counter-
didn't get it. I didn't get the vaccine. And it's not a one
I
size
had to.
situation. And I have not gotten
like
sick.
six,
The
pushing
only
7
person that got
figures.
sick in my house was my sisters. None of us got it. I did not get it.
But you
I did
already
not get
living a
sick.
healthy lifestyle, right?
Thank you.
So-
but I didn't get it
I'm a-
also because I know that it's not a one size fits for me. But it's just
There
for
isn't.
me. No one could tell me what I knew was best for me. And I wasn't going to tell anyone else what was best for them. Just like she said.
So
sticky,
I'm gonna touch on what you saying, right? With the whole anti-Dr. Sebi shit and what she was saying, because the Pilgrims, who everybody allegedly based a shit on, I know.
Y'all don't realize how much
Here's
black people
to
make
your-
a decision
to your-
on
to your
everything
point.
that you're saying.
Here,
white
listen.
society.
Here's a white. I'm gonna give you a
Don't
Pilgrim
make it right.
who was a
White
comedian,
No, not at all.
lived over 100, and he said he smoked a cigar every day. And I smoke cigars. I do it, yeah. But society would tell you cigars, tobacco, lethal. George Burns.
Context is king. Or
Stress
queen.
is the
All I'm
number
saying
one
is,
Context.
Look at George Clinton.
I'm
He's still
playing.
walking around. He
I'm
smoked
all I'm
crack.
doing. I'm being devil's advocate right now to what she was
motherfucker's
saying with the
still
liquor.
COVID
To a
and all.
Pilgrim was saying it with the cigar, and Mo is, oh yeah. It's all about who you
It's
think.
about what you believe.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's also if you gotta listen to your body.
Thank you.
You
That's
listen.
what you gotta
You
listen
gotta
to.
listen to your own body. Like I know when
If
I
you
feel
don't
sluggish because I haven't ate as much vegetables and fruit as I should have.
If you don't put
Then I turn around and do that, and I feel better.
your body is a car. If you don't change the oil, if you don't change your brake lights, if you don't change the fan belt, you gotta
You
make
use
sure
French
the
fry
coolant.
grease for your gas. You're not gonna go.
You gotta know what to put in your shit.
I mean,
And here's hold on, let me finish though. I'm gonna give you this. We're gonna get this ism. I'm gonna give you this real ism though. You gotta really understand
French
self.
fry grease.
Because that's when I go back to the melanated woman is God, because your mother is your first introduction to God. I don't give a fuck what your religion is. If you know self, you know love of self, everything else is.
That's what the Egyptian said. Know thyself. That was on the walls of the.
I know what I'm saying. Like I said, I don't know everything, but I know half of something.
And to thine own self be true.
And I will always be true to me. And fuck them European standards.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
where
give
I'm
a
at.
That's
with it.
actually not what it means.
I said what I said.
But yeah, I mean, you go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna
So-
say, I mean, we going
Oh,
so many branches like you
'Cause
could
we
go
touch on
into,
it.
like with the vaccine, right? I took the vaccine. I'm pro-vaccine. I believe
I'm not,
in the
but
numbers,
I took it.
and I understand y'all some of my best friends, and I have some
touch
that's
millions,
watching and
so I
some that's
gotta
not.
take it.
I believe in
Donnie
kind of like
Fresh.
what Kat said,
Fresh.
right? Fresh is he don't believe in the vaccine.
But some
Right.
people
hold
were
on,
getting it
hold
and
on,
was
hold
still
on,
getting
hold on, Let me
sick.
say something.
I had to.
They're still getting sick.
Nobody else finna
But
pay me
to her
$150,000 a
point,
year.
if you eat this and you do that,
I'm
you
gonna
give
go
your
get it.
chance. You give your. I had a homeboy who played basketball, never smoked a damn thing in his life, never drank nothing, and he's gone. He's
It's his
dead from
time.
cancer. Okay. But I believe
Look
in
at-
giving yourself the best chance
Absolutely.
to live.
I
And for
agree.
me, taking the vaccine
That was for
and looking
you.
at the numbers
Yes.
and looking at the fact that this
LDs,
COVID shit has
what's
been going
happening?
on for years, I wanted to give myself the best chance to live.
Right.
Because I have partners who don't believe in the vaccine and damn near die behind it. So it's a whether
It's
it's
the
health,
science.
whether it's vaccine, whether it's whatever.
Stick to the real
I
science.
want to give myself the best
Science
chance to live
changes.
while I drink this cognac. But
Because
I know. Well, I
there
know
are
that I had a
no-
lifetime of poor eating, as you can see.
Yeah, poor
And
habits.
so I knew I didn't
gotta
stand a
change it.
chance. So I went down first chance I could get vaccinated because I live a
get
very
it.
unhealthy
I understand
lifestyle. And I've had an unhealthy lifestyle for so very long.
Okay. I get
And,
that.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? What's best for you is not going to be what's best for him, and it's not going to be best
That's
for
what
him.
I like.
Yeah.
That's
And you,
because I felt like this whole pandemic really brought that out, where people
Yeah.
were just like making judgment on.
On
They
each
felt like they
other.
were on a moral hierarchy if they
Yeah.
got the vaccine,
some
and
people,
I felt like that was not fair to everyone else. Like you say, you feel a certain way. Like, yes, I wear my mask. I stayed away. Like, we quarantined. I did all that stuff, but I just didn't get it. But I was getting pushback from people who didn't want me around. They didn't want to talk to me. Like, it was causing problems because I decided, but I wasn't saying that to them. Like, oh, you stupid for getting in. I think that what's for you is for you.
Yeah.
So you didn't impose your beliefs on others.
Why would we could go from the top, not
Opinions
just with
are
the
like
vaccine. We
assholes.
could impose all kind of beliefs. We could
How did you feel about them though? Do you have any resentment towards them for trying to
No,
impose on
because
you?
I'm not against the vaccine.
Damn,
I'm
man.
just not.
Sorry.
And that was the other thing. If you didn't get it, you're anti-vax automatically.
My
And so
whole
there was that
argument with
narrative.
it
And
is
I'm
this.
not against the vaccine. I
From
just
every-
didn't want it for
from
me.
Every era
bullshit.
and from every era in life, this is taking the vaccine. Now you look at somebody stupid if they don't take chicken pox, right? If you don't, like, why are you not? For the most part,
Well, it's
When
not
I
even.
grew
It's not
up,
even that.
you
If
gotta-
somebody
you gotta
had
take all
chicken
that
pox,
shit.
they
They all
sent
put them
everybody.
all in the room
they-
together.
everybody
All
get
y'all
it.
get that shit
But
at
you-
once.
It's
so we done
automatic to
with
go
it.
to school.
It's automatic.
And that's
to
probably
go to
what's
school,
going to be
right?
a part of this vaccine.
I
It's
got-
all
I got
taken
chicken
off.
pox at the
So
age of
very
25. And
politicized.
I had it at 25, and it literally
But I'm
almost
saying,
killed me.
but
I
at
had it
one
for
point
3
it
months,
was killing
and I lost
people.
60
It's worse.
pounds.
It's worse when you're older.
I literally almost died from chicken pox.
Man,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
got it
and-
too when I was like 26.
I
How long
mean,
did you have it? Because it stayed with
They
me
were
for 3 months.
everywhere. Oh, it was just maybe a couple of weeks.
Oh,
So-
yeah, I had it for 3 months.
So
I almost died.
we're gonna wind it down, but here's the thing.
Winding up.
But it,
it's already
we got-
almost 8.
I don't
We
even
still
know
filming.
where
We
it,
got
where it
filming.
came,
We
got-
where
we
it
got
came from with the
other shit to do.
vaccine though. But looking back, like just even the terms of the coronavirus and its origins, and looking at like how they were saying,
Trying
one
to blame
theory,
it on somebody eating a bat and all this
right,
other
or
bullshit
moving animals and having them
all
be.
that.
But it was on the
But
Lysol
to me, it
can
doesn't
before
matter.
that.
It's
It's
here.
been
We
here.
got
Exactly.
we're spreading
There's-
it, so it's
There's
like
nothing new
don't
under
matter
the
how it got
sun.
there.
Nothing
It's
new
here.
under the sun.
Here's the
It's-
thing.
And how do you feel about this?
You
I'm
a
a
scientist.
businessman.
I wanna know
I'm a
both of y'all
businessman.
feel
Here's the
it.
thing.
Just tried to put you on blast.
You don't
Because
have those
and this I'm
opinions on
gonna
it?
go here with it to you and your anti-Sebi ass. Here's the thing.
Oh, we
I'm
got
a
a Sebi
businessman.
believer.
No. I'm just talking about philosophy, mindset, just mindset, and dealing in this world that
We
we
talking
live
about
in.
philosophy. Remember, I'm the ghetto
Well, I know
Marcus
that. I know
Aurelius
you are exactly, and I'm that
There you go,
motherfucker
the Greek names.
that put the sword in your throat.
who
Here
studied
it
at
is.
Timbuktu.
Go ahead.
If I Dr. Sebi, theoretically, in concept of curing diseases,
He hit the air quotes. This would be some real
because
shit.
I'm finna hit you. I'm finna give you something you're gonna get at 3 a.m. I hope you get it right now. But if you get it at 3 a.m, good. I'm Dr. Sebi. I'm the cure of diseases. You're European philosophy, racism, and all this other shit.
Oh, he shot me.
I'm just finna say something. I'm just finna put it there, and this is my opinion on this shit.
Somebody said I took the vaccine to get into
I know
the
it's a Raider game. And he caught it live. Yeah,
Caught it while I
but
was
listen
in
to
line.
me. But no, let me
That's hilarious.
let me hit this with you. I'm gonna
Okay.
give you some concept, and please understand what I'm saying. I'm Dr. Sebi. I can cure some shit. What I learned, I ain't talking about the snake oil people that you talking about. I get it. But I'm just speaking on some truism shit.
Truism.
I have what it takes to end this shit. I ain't looking to get rich. You, on the other hand, are the medical industry.
I'm a 10%er.
I'm not saying you personally.
Talented 10%,
Yeah, I'm
10% or
just
whatever
saying.
you want to call it.
The cure, a cure is a customer loss. If I cure something, I
That's like the
ain't
cure of
never gonna get
AIDS.
$1 for that again.
I
Yeah.
constantly.
All that, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
So COVID.
Dr. Sebi gonna get killed in jail cell, die the way he did because he's the cure. And I'm just using. I listen. I'm just giving y'all something to think on. Once
Right.
again, that you'll get at 3 a.m. If I'm the cure, if I have the cure, everybody else in the world is against me. And so as long as you look at ass popping videos of chicks with no bars who shake their ass all day.
It's
And once again, I'm bringing
indoctrination.
it all back in because once again, I think it's shit that most
me
niggas don't
counter
think about. No,
something
there ain't
with
no counter. But listen,
It's the indoctrination.
Because the chick who shakes her
Go ahead.
ass the most,
No,
Nicki
I
Minaj,
get it.
got the best bars in the game.
Hold on.
We're talking about
May I
the
say-
indoctrination into
Thank
the
you.
European
This is what I'm-
system, the imperialist system, from
You-
medicine to science to
Thank you.
religion.
Thank
It's
you.
all
That's
set
all
up by
I'm
the man.
going.
It does
And
not
this is
include,
where I'm going with it.
doesn't include the African.
I'm not.
spiritual.
Ain't no butter biscuits over here. Ain't no
Right.
butter
Nicki
biscuits.
Minaj is the
Right.
greatest
Ain't no-
female MC of all time, and
Y'all-
she shakes her ass.
She got bars.
Wow.
But yeah, if you got,
By
I
far.
understand you got to feed both wolves. I get that. But once again, I just want people to think outside the box, and I'm bringing all of it into context when I just with
Can
my
I say
outgoing.
Yes.
Now
Can
let me
I
ask
say
you a
one
question,
So
thing?
let
my
me
brother.
finish.
Now
Can
let
I-
me
I'm
ask
not
you a
done.
question to
I'm
that.
not done.
Let me
I'm
ask
not
you a question, then you
done.
can include it in that.
Uh-huh.
You say you want people to think outside the box, but earlier you stated you also want to tear down the box.
Yes,
So
you
thus-
have to.
But
You
many
do,
people
I
are
agree.
comfortable
You
within
have
the
to.
box.
I agree.
So how do you address those people?
Hold on, say it again, because I wasn't listening.
A lot of people are comfortable within the box,
Uh-huh.
and you want to. It's one thing to say I want y'all to think outside the box,
Yes.
but it's a whole other thing to say I want to tear down the box.
Yes.
What is the box?
Here's the thing. I'm gonna
What
tell you
is the
something.
box?
There's something that you
Who's
learn
in charge of
when
the box?
once again, know and love thyself. Comfort zones kill you. That's why it's a comfort zone, because you comfortable. Once you're comfortable, you don't think, oh, I need to do this or that. So here's the thing. So if I've had a lifestyle of poverty, which I've not always had what I got now. I had to get where I'm at. Yes, true.
Right.
But if I allow
Right.
myself to
You have to elevate your thinking.
exactly, if I allowed myself to think that first step was the end, I would have sat instead of having top ramen. I would have thought
I took the vaccine to get. Oh,
top ramen with hot sauce is the shit. Not knowing that I can go make my own pasta.
Right. Now I got a quick question
Well,
for
can I
Renee.
say something?
I got a quick question for Renee.
Your comfort
Say,
zone
yes.
will kill you
Yes, please.
because you become
were you always
lethargic.
woke, or did you become woke?
no, I
Did you come
read.
from a family, a woke family environment?
Yes.
Or did you become woke?
I come from a mother on my mother's side who still carried her African roots and would tell me things, and I see her cure people and do stuff with home remedies, and she would blow the minds of all the kids that she took care of. Their parents were doctors, they were nurses, and they went to school and they were educated. And I'm not knocking that, because it does take a certain amount of discipline, but it's not the holy grail of just curing people. But my grandmother, who I would go to school every day after school and help with her daycare, would give remedies to these parents who were doctors and lawyers and help them cure their kids. One of them had an eating disorder. They tried everything. My grandmother found out she had worms in her stomach. Ask me how she figured that out. She used to stir stuff up, boil stuff, do certain things I didn't understand what she was doing until I went back and looked at it. I've seen her cure diaper rashes, asthma. My grandmother never went to school to be a doctor, but had some remedies that got passed down from her mother to her mother, and she was able to bring them with her. She taught those things to me. So I always kept that close to me, and it was very important
So
to me.
you were already exposed.
I was
what knowledge.
But
of
it
self?
wasn't
Mouth
it wasn't anything that I
to
studied.
ear.
It wasn't even anything I read. And that's what I was saying was my experience. And there's not enough of experience into the equation when it comes to black people. When black people feel something or see something, we just like, yeah, I don't know, that resonates with me. We don't have to have proof. We don't have to have data. So when I saw my
Allow a
grandmother
white man to
healing
validate it
people,
and run with it.
she didn't go to school. She didn't have any primary education. She couldn't even read or write. She knew how to count money. But I would see her do things, and it was just with her own knowledge and wisdom that got passed down to her.
And have you passed the knowledge on?
I'm trying to, but I'm also trying to build on that by going on the road and finding out more about my people and how we learned about things, in addition to the system and the
I have 2
institutions.
points.
Go for it.
One science, one religion, right?
Yeah.
Science aspect of it. When you talk about medicine, right? If you look at the history of medicine and the people who, the
Medicine
father
men.
of gynecology and all that stuff. It's all based on what they did to slaves. Right? It's all based on what they did to that. And so they figured out this is the best way we're going to do this. Now you got MD versus DO.
Thank you.
Right? You got MD who's going to say, you feel bad, let me give this pill. Where you got DO say, you feel bad, what's wrong?
Right.
Right?
What happened
and
to you
there's
this
two
week?
different
That's
aspects.
true.
Yes, you can believe one or the other.
What's the
But there
detail?
is doctor. You got Western medicine versus Eastern medicine. And that's a
Right,
whole
Eastern
nother
medicine.
spectrum,
Yeah, it
right?
is.
And the basis of it, again, is he say, she say. There's some sort of middle ground that you got to find.
Right.
Then you look at religion, you look at the religion we have. You got
Right.
Catholicism, baptism, I'm a theologist, all that stuff, right? Then you got Taoism. And the number one thing when it comes to being a Catholic or being someone who is of religious
Or Yahweh.
all of religion, all of it basically
All
says
religions is niggas.
no, all religion basically
Right.
says all
I said
religions
it.
no, listen, all religion basically
Say it
says
again.
the God in me should see the God in you. And there's no title to that. You know what I'm saying? I should see the kindness in you. I should see what you're doing for others. I should see the basis of what we call God or Yahweh in you and how you perform.
But American
Versus-
Christianity teaches sola fidelis.
They do, and
which
that's
is
the
Latin
problem.
for by faith alone. So if you say, if you profess you
and you
believe me, you don't have to
tied-
do.
But then you
ass
got
off.
American Catholicism that's based off
And-
Egyptian.
And you
It's based off
tied-
Oriental.
And you tied
It's
your
based
ass
off all that. No, but I'm gonna say this because I have a master's in biology,
need to
but
have
my
movie sets
my
on.
grandfather was a
Listen,
pastor,
listen.
and I went to a college that was
On our
also. I went to a
I'm on
college
the
that was
air.
all
Let me right
Baptist, right? Or it wasn't Baptist, but anyway, I had to go to chapel. I had to take classes on, you know what I'm saying, all the Bible stuff, right? So when I go head to head with a preacher, I'll be like, yeah, I know the Bible because I can respond it to you. But I also have a science background. And here's the thing, the me should see the God. No matter what your biblical
Belief is.
background
Belief
is.
system
Science and
is.
God and,
No.
and that they don't
That's
mix
not
that
true.
way.
No, but
They
they're finding
do.
us closer.
You-
Yes,
here's
this
the
is
thing.
the point that we're making.
The
They
common
very
mind
close.
will tell you that it ain't the
Logic's
same, but
No, but it is.
But no,
It-
what they
you
teach
gotta
you
think deeper.
is science is different than religion, but the
And
reality
it's
religion
very
is
close.
is
man-made.
very
and
much
it's
Right.
regional.
similar.
So when
And
people say trust
the
the,
whole
science,
basis of science
I'm like,
is that
I am.
one day the
God
earth,
told
the,
me not to
the
get the
universe
vaccine.
just went bang, and there was a big boom
There's
that
no
created
big
this
boom.
masses of the universe. If you believe in God, unless He hit a button.
No,
it's a
here's the
big-
thing. No, here's the
she-
problem is
Well,
God.
she.
If
I'm
you
a-
say the Bible says 7 days, right? But what is 7
We're
days?
gonna do a part two of this.
What is
Yeah,
7
I-
days?
I think it's
I-
7 days
Next
is what
week?
we
With like
say
10
is 7
shows in
days,
one
but
day.
7
Can we
days
do
is
part two next
millennia.
week?
yeah.
I agree with you.
So it's a
Can we do part
combination.
two
Because
next
the
week?
Egyptians are celebrating their
With
New Year.
Yes.
September
All right.
11th.
Can we do part two
Amen.
next
Yes.
They
week?
believe
All
we're
right.
only in the
Hours
6,000
Yeah, I'm at
6,000
I
All
wasn't
years.
trying to go two.
Yeah.
We're gonna do part two next week. Cause
Everybody come
What are
back.
the people
man.
saying?
it's actors
Oh,
like
let's read the
tonight.
comments. What are the people
I've
saying?
been reading. Once again, tell everybody where they can find y'all at.
Okay, so the Venus Lounge is every Friday at 7 p.m., but I think we went a
Yeah, I
little
was yeah,
over
I was
today.
trying to answer.
It's
Y'all
okay,
can do
it's
Venus
okay,
Lounge. It's
because
good.
we're still working on it. We're still working out all the technical kinks, but we have a lot of women that are coming on to the show in the next coming weeks. We have Kat Bobino is going to be here on Friday.
Next week.
She's a STEM scientist, yes, and we have some wonderful conversations. And I love talking with Kat because I don't.
That's
I
fine.
feel like we meet in the middle about our beliefs and in terms of what the science is. We find what's
Compatibility.
common and not what's common.
And I need a loan.
And
That title, I need some.
then I also
I need some
have
help.
a woman who's started it's the only African American woman who owns a bank in the United States. I have her coming on, another real estate agent and a lawyer.
Is she
and
local?
Yes, and then Talia here is going to be doing all the music, so we're going to have some vibe
All
going
of
on.
it.
But
Vibe.
I just got to work out the
Even music
technical
for us,
stuff. It's
too.
a
We got
lot
it.
of
We've
wiring
loaned you out.
because we're using good cameras, we're using good audio, and I just want to make it
And
super
where can they
tight.
find you?
Is it good or the best?
It's as good as it's going to get right now, but it will get better. Let's
Well,
just say that.
I'll just be.
Where
a
can
butt.
everybody
Where can they
find
So
find
it'll
you
be
all?
on Facebook Live every Friday at 7 o'clock, or you can follow us at the Venus Lounge, or I changed my Instagram to Renee Electronica.
I seen that.
And then they call me T-E-E-E. Say it.
And she'll
Tell
be
them where
throwing
they
them
can
gang signs.
I need you to speak.
Talia's going to be doing the
Talia-
music because we
Talia
want
is-
it to be a loungy
You
vibe.
are dope as fuck. I
She's
said it.
fucking dope.
Her voice is dope.
And we want
Yeah,
all the ladies to come down and just
Talia-
You got a
hang
dope
out with
vibe,
us
at least. I'm
too.
gonna listen to your music
If we
tonight.
want them to hang out.
Bobino, where can they find you?
Well, I do In the Know with Cat Bobino on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock on Facebook Live. But quite honestly, if you want to see more of what I have already done, just go to my website, which is my name, CatBobino.com.
Egotistical. That's so
CatBobino.com.
What's your show about on
That's so
Wednesdays?
egotistical.
In the know, what's it about?
In the Know is all about science, technology, engineering, and math. I talk to diverse people in those fields. Recently talked to an astronaut from NASA, and before that, it was the president of Cal Academy of Science.
Yes.
So make sure you check it out. It's on all
Joe
podcast
Biden?
platforms
Yes,
Oh, my
yes.
of Cal Academy of
Let's
Science.
go, Joe.
Yeah, you can find. I'm so easy
Cat
to
is
find.
dope. She's
Yeah.
dope.
She's dope.
She actually
Now,
is.
Yeah,
She's the
she's
shit.
dope.
A scientist
I
who
don't mean
looks
to
like
steal her
me
thunder.
and is a woman.
And she knows her shit.
She knows her shit.
Yeah, she does.
Thank you.
And
Love having conversations with
Talia,
her.
Sister Soldier.
Oh yeah, just
Hey, Sister
Bandcamp,
Soul.
Talia Taylor Bandcamp for the music and everything else. Just all
And you
fine.
got a music video too.
Yeah, God Code.
Y'all pull that up and watch that.
Hey, y'all need to watch
Like
God
it and
Code. She
share
got
it.
bars.
Yep,
She was on
features
there.
Ryan Nicole.
You wrote your own shit, right?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I feel like I was the most
Stop being humble.
like playful one on the song. So, like Ryan Nicole, Coco Pela, Mad Lines, Cheyenne, they're all
Shout out to
they're
them.
all on the track and they're all
All right,
spitting
brother
real
Taylor.
hard. Yep, check them out.
Hey, Sister Souls.
So, and my man, my co-host,
Oh.
esteemed
I am the human personification of ism,
is
coming to you in basically in a human form. I know that was a redundant
There
sentence.
is them in a human
But you can
form. I
find
love
me.
it.
You can find me at catbobino.com. Or you can find me actually at Feral Films across the board. And I just want to say, on the regards to we were talking about banking and stuff like that. There's a great movie on Apple called The Banker about some black guys who had to get a white guy to front for them to own banks. So just check that out, and you'll see that.
once again subjugation.
Like
to
my
the
man Shizzle
purposes
always
of
says,
European.
the more things have changed, they still stay the same. So don't fall for the
True.
banana in the tailpipe.
Don't. Camo.
Yo, y'all can find me at Camouflage, KAMMAFLAGE. Oh, he said louder on the levels, y'all. Camouflage, KAMMAFLAGE on IG, and I'm here every 6 o'clock on Friday. Cognac
He said every
Confessionals.
6 o'clock. What?
Every
Saturday.
6
Cat.
o'clock.
Appreciate it.
On
Saturday,
Friday.
on Drip Money.
6 o'clock, Drip Money. Y'all, we got another show we working on here. This team, Drip Money Show, man. Y'all
Yeah.
check that out.
What's that about?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
podcast.
it's a podcast. It's very similar. We just got multiple outlets.
You know what I'm saying? And as always, me, I'm the man with the plan, Mr. Keep It Cloudy himself.
Yes, yes,
You know,
yes.
you can find me in your chick's dreams when you doing
Oh,
some shit
Lord.
you shouldn't be doing.
He's actually on
She's
his best
thinking of
behavior
me.
because that
I'm really
word
being
would have
nice
been
I
shit
know
if
he
y'all
is.
wasn't.
Because
I
I'm
know he
humbly
is.
cocky and I'm just joking, but yeah, you already know
You ain't
what
just
it
joking.
is.
You
7
super
figures.
serious.
No
Seven-
details.
Super
No, hey, no
serious.
details, just result. And if you don't see me, it's because I wasn't there. But hey,
And he's probably on his way to.
oh yeah, on my way to you already know.
Great
What's
show,
good?
big bro.
Hey, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? These
You gonna
just
sing the
jokes.
song?
Hey, yeah, in a sec, I'm gonna go there. I gotta do my outro.
You got a real
And you
singer
can
here,
find
so I
me
gotta-
at Cognac_Confessionals on IG. Follow me on YouTube, on Facebook, Cognac Confessionals.
Yes, yes.
And if you know me personally, then you know my personal Facebook page. If you don't know me personally, you won't get my personal Facebook page. It ain't nothing hard against you. It's just I fucks with who I fucks with. But I want you to fuck with me. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, though. Really, though. These just jokes. And I'm humbly cocky, but I'm so serious with this shit. And as usual, now it's time to say goodbye to all my Negro friends. Hey, man, y'all have y'all a good weekend, man. And don't let the white man